Her English is not so great, so we received the fine.
Now, before you begin,
Is that what you want me to explain?
no, not yet.
You need to be sworn.
Excuse me?
You need to be sworn by the clerk.
Okay,
Both of you, please raise your right hand.
yeah.
Your mother too.
Mom, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Okay.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Please say I do.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, don't tell me about your case yet.
Okay.
Just tell me who you are and whether you're the property owner.
My mother is the property owner. And he Gregorian.
Okay, and you received a violation.
Correct.
Okay, do you contest the violation? Do you oppose it?
Yeah. We didn't.
You didn't do anything wrong?
No.
Okay, fine. Let me hear from the city.
Good morning, Officer Murillo from City of North Miami. On March 25th, while patrolling the area, I observed on the property 13514 Northeast 23rd Court, new and installed window with no permit. A summary inspection on April 26th, there was no compliant with no permit on file. And as a matter of final reinspection, there was no permit or application made.
Okay, I need to see the windows. Are those the windows? How do you know that they are recently installed windows without a permit?
Okay, if you compare here the picture, these are the old windows on the property.
Okay.
These are the new ones, and they were installed with no permit.
Do you know when?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
You checked the permit file and you were not able to find a permit for this property for the windows.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Gregorian, you heard the testimony of the code officer. How do you respond?
Well, my husband did everything, but I didn't aware of it. You know, he passed away, and I don't have. We didn't do the windows. I didn't do not the windows. My husband did it, and I.
And your husband was an owner of the property?
It's been maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, well, you can see the difference between the old and the new, though, can't you?
Yes.
All right, so the window, it doesn't matter who did it, somebody put up windows without a permit.
So can you help me out and let me know what I have to do to get off of this problem?
Well, I'm going to impose a fine, but then you're going to have to go talk to the building department to see what you need to do to legalize those windows, because they could be windows that are not approved by the building code, and they could be dangerous to you and your family. So that's what
we
you
really
need to
can't
do.
afford to do both, though. We can't afford to pay a fine and put new windows.
Well, then then you're going to have to work it out with the city's finance department, because I cannot I'm not allowed to take your financial situation into consideration when I impose a fine. So
we have to go and apply for permits.
All right, so let me do this, okay? I'm going to try to work with you, and the city's going to try to work with you. I'm going to give you 60 days to go to the building department in the city, get a permit, get an after-the-fact permit, get the windows inspected, and if the windows are approved by the city, then you're not going to be fined. But if you cannot do that within 60 days, then I'm going to impose a fine.
Okay, so we go to the permit department, ask for after the fact permit.
It's called
inspection.
it's called an after the fact permit,
and inspection.
And so that's the process. So since there is a violation, but it can be corrected, by getting the permit,
Okay,
I am going to enter an order finding in favor of the city. I'm going to enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is corrected or complied with.
wow. Okay,
Okay.
Judge, thank you.
Okay, so you got 60 days
60
to get
days to
permits.
get a permit
You need to get permits for those windows, okay?
and inspection, right?
Well, obviously, at the end of the work or when you submit the paperwork, the building official will send someone out to do an inspection, and if everything's okay, then we're done,
Uh-huh. Okay, so
okay?
we'll start on that. Thank you.
You better go and check with the city as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute.
Right, and get the permit started. Okay.
Okay, all right,
Thank you. Bye.
all right, have a good day.
I'm gonna go ahead and call item number 6, which is 315 Northeast 122nd, 122 LLC. Case number CEBPR 2022-00387. The officer is Shannon Sanders, and I believe we have Christopher Powell on Zoom. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Please state your full name and address for the record.
Christopher Powell, 315 Northeast 122nd Street, Miami, Florida 33161.
And what is your relationship to the property?
I'm the owner.
The city alleges that you did some work without a permit. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah, we're in the process of rectifying it, yes.
Okay, the work was done for windows and doors and other alterations.
It's just windows and doors.
Okay, do you understand you need a permit, just like the prior lady, you need a permit to do work in the city, right?
Absolutely. I hired a contractor who just chose not to pull them. So we're in a legal suit with him right now.
Okay, I just because I haven't had a chance to look at the pictures, could the city inspector show me what the pictures look like? Which windows are?
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer, as shown in the photos. All the windows were done without permits. Windows and doors, the front of the property as well as the side, were all changed without obtaining the proper permits.
Do you know when?
I'm honest enough to say I don't know exactly when. This was a violation that was cited before I became the officer of this particular area. So when I came into this area, I noticed I ran a log of the open violations and pending violations that were opened by the previous officer, and this was one of them. Long story short, followed up, didn't see any open permits still obtained, so followed through with an old pending case. So I've been the officer for this area, I believe, since, February, I think, of this year, maybe January. So it's been prior to that, I would be comfortable with saying.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll do the same as I did in the prior case. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs, and the evidence presented, depicting that the cited violation still exists and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city. Enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated or complied with. So, Mr. Powell, you got 60 days to get the permits in order. Once you get the permits, as long as it's within 60 days, there will not be a fine. If it takes longer than 60 days, you may need to come back to me, at which time I may or may not impose a fine depending upon the circumstances at that time. So thank you very much for showing up this morning, and wish you good luck. and hopefully I won't see you again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Next.
We're gonna call item number 18. They are here in person. It's Jermaine Lavelle, case number CEBPR 2022-00375. The officer is Aaron Barber.
All right. Anybody here on behalf of the owner?
I'm the owner,
Please state your name.
Jermaine Leville,
Spell your last name.
Leveille.
You need an interpreter, ma'am?
No,
I'm sorry. Repeat the name.
Jermaine Leville.
Okay. Gotcha.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God, please say I do.
I do.
What is your connection to the property? Are you the owner?
Yes,
You're being charged with doing work without a permit. You installed a panel fence without permits. Do you contest the violation, or you agree that the work was done without a permit?
when I get asked the guy to do the fence for me, I think I thought he take a permit, but they tell me he didn't have no permit.
He didn't get a permit?
He didn't have no permit, and the guy not alive anymore.
Okay. You understand that to put up this type of fence, you do need a permit, correct?
I didn't know. Now I know.
You know now. All right. Brief presentation by Officer Aaron Barber.
Good morning, Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This is a new case. As noted, this is for a white panel metal fence that was installed around the rear of the property without a permit. As of the final recheck date on July 8th, there was no compliance, and I checked again this morning, and there is still no compliance, no permits on file, no applications made.
Okay. Ms. Lavelle, would you like to say anything else?
I have permit. I apply for permit.
You applied for a permit. You don't have a permit.
I
Okay.
apply for permit and I have the number.
Okay, so you are in the process of getting the permit, correct?
Yeah, and I have the number.
All right, but that's fine. I don't need to have the number, but the work was done without a permit.
Yes.
Okay, so based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists and the proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated or complied with. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I
Yes,
have
sir.
the permit. I have the permit on the office.
Okay,
The office give me a number.
If and when you get the permit, the violation will go away and you won't be penalized.
Ma'am, that's an application number.
All I'm saying is that you got to get the work done within 60 days. That's all.
So that's an application number. Because you applied, you were issued a number. It's not a final it's not a final permit. Once you've finalized everything, then you will have a document that says that you have been issued a permit. So the number at this time is not relevant. It's just an application. You've got to follow through and finalize the process.
All it is what they call a process number. It's not a permit. You need a permit. You don't have one. Therefore, I'm giving you 60 days to get a permit. Getting a process number is not sufficient.
Even I'll give the application on the city hall. I give them everything they ask me to do, and I buy them.
Ma'am, pemi a pouco fini. Tu fais application, yo bon numéro pour Kimberly numéro Le yo fin ba ou, lo fin ba yo tout papier yo besoin, ya ba ou un permis. Konya ou poko rive na permis. Ça son numéro pour moun yo ki travaille dans bureau pour yo ka connaît avec qui kay pa application en fait. Vous comprenez? Ou poko rive na permis. So lo fin rive na permis ou met vin là, ou met moutre nou permis et puis na permis en violation. Vous comprenez?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. You made it easier for me, Crystal. Jump in anytime.
Thank you.
Next case.
All right, the next case is item number 13. It's a Bear Shit 26 LLC. Case number CEBPR 2022-00346. And the officer is Aaron Barber.
Okay, anybody representing the owner?
Yes, I have a William Timmons here. Just a moment.
Hello?
William Timmons?
Yes, sir. Hello.
I think you need to be sworn.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Mr. Timmons, what is your relationship to the property?
I am the tenant at the property.
Okay, are you there on a long-term lease, short-term
Long-term,
lease?
a long-term lease.
Okay, who's the owner?
The owner is LLC. She, I speak to a landlord. I really don't even know who the owner is.
All right, I'm being told that the owner's name is Bereshit 26 LLC. That's a hell of a name for a landlord. But anyway, is that your landlord?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you did some work without a permit?
It all happened during COVID when we were shut down. I had a bunch of I had bought a bunch of things to do the yard, and I needed a shed, so I had bought a shipping container, thinking that it was okay to just store my lawn equipment, and I kind of didn't think that I needed a permit for a shed. And once I had got the violation, I have been trying to call, and then I found out that I could go, and I've been trying to go and resolve the situation. It is a mobile shipping container, so when I do move out of the residence, I am taking the shipping container with me. And I will be moving shortly.
What about the fence?
The fence that's covering the shipping container, I had put it up myself. I didn't know that I needed a contractor. I have taken down that fence.
You took it down?
Yes.
When?
Pretty much yesterday.
Okay, pretty much. All right, let me hear from the city.
Morning, Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This is a new case, 1575 Northwest 127th Street. As noted, there was a wooden fence that had been installed without permits, and the shipping container installed at the rear of the property, visible in the photos here on the screen. As of the final recheck date, there was no compliance, no applications made. And again, this morning I checked and there are no applications made for either of the items in this violation. No
Okay, so he the tenant is saying that he just removed the fence. Would that cure that violation?
If the fence is, we have to check that out. As of the final recheck, there was no compliance, but it still leaves the matter of the shipping container.
I'm so sorry.
Don't interrupt, please. I'll let you finish. Okay, go ahead.
The shipping container would be the issue.
So if he removes the shipping container, he's in compliance?
He would have to, he would have to get variance permits or have the container removed. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to keep it. I think he wants to take it away when he leaves.
Yes, sir.
All right, one last brief comment from the tenant, and then I'm going to adjudicate the case.
I apologize for interrupting earlier. I've seen the pictures in that were being feeded through, and I thought that the violation was for the fence that was covering the shipping container. I didn't know that it was also for the one that's in the alley. That fence was just upgraded. There was a fence there before. So I didn't know that I needed to upgrade a fence because it was literally falling over, and I had a violation for my dogs getting out of the yard, and I had animal services tell me that I needed to fix the property's fence because if my dogs keep getting out, I'm going to keep getting violated. So the reason why I upgraded the fence was because the fence was very poor. It was a very poor chain link fence, and there was holes all over the bottom, and my dogs were easily getting out. And so, like, for me to get animal services to not keep giving me violations, I needed to secure my yard so that my dogs cannot get out.
Yeah, but that required you to get a building permit to build that fence.
And like I said, all this happened during COVID. If you could see the violation of my dog escaping, I had to pay violations on that, and they were all paid for.
All right, it doesn't matter to me whether you or the owner or whatever does it, but it has to get done. You know, I have to agree with the city that you do need a permit for that fence, and the shed and the whatever else, the container, all of that has to be removed. And you saw what the violation was about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 30 days to comply with all of the violations, to remedy all of those violations. Otherwise, you and or the owner of the property, whoever the city decides to go after, will have to pay the fine. Right now, the violation is against the LLC, so I'm surprised they didn't show up, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to be on the hook. So just for the record, this order that I'm about to enter should in fact be delivered to the owner so that the owner has knowledge and can comply with it at the penalty of having to pay daily fines.
I'm so sorry, my phone had disconnected due to data. Can I ask for 90 days or because considering it's such a big shipping container and it's something that I paid a lot of money for, considering giving me only 30 days to get rid of it, that's a little bit of a time constraint.
Well, I want to see a picture of that container again and how that affects your neighbors.
It does not affect my neighbors. I do have a picture of it right now.
No, I want the city to show me a picture.
Yes.
And as I do that, Magistrate, I just want to point out that because you're making mention of the property owner, and as per corporate records, they were served. The notice to appear was serviced at the address on record, and I'll just apply the notice to appear as well for your reference.
Okay, what's the name of the owner? No, I don't mean the corporate name. I mean the individuals.
Well, the manager is Andrea Beer shirt. But all addresses attached here are, it's one central address.
Yeah, that's the high rent district in Miami, by the way.
As for the photos, the container, I believe the officer can confirm, but it's represented here as gray.
Yeah, that's the shipping container, the gray with the white roof. It's fairly close to the neighboring property.
There's AC in it. I'm wondering, is someone occupying, or is there an occupant inside that's staying inside of this?
And there are air conditioners, there are windows at the front.
It would seem, if it's being used as a tool shed, that it wouldn't need, I mean, it appears to have a front door, windows.
Yeah.
Well, I whenever my dog does give birth, I use that as a nursery.
How long have you been there?
I've been here for 4 or 5 years, but the shipping container is brand new. It's post-COVID.
Other than your dog, is there anyone else living there?
Yes, we have there's 5 tenants. It's a 5-bedroom house.
So somebody's living in that shed?
No.
I thought you answered yes, that there was somebody else living there.
No, it's only used for storage, and like I said, if my dog does give birth, I keep her in there, and I keep the AC on so that she's in a habitable area.
All right. Okay. Here's my ruling. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists, and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 60 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated. I think 60 days is more than enough to remove that container, which is absolutely a violation of city code.
And I will be getting permits for all the fencing, and I surely do apologize that this had to have came before you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry that you had to come, but nonetheless, we have to comply with the code.
No, I totally understand, and it was my negligence. I didn't know that a shed needed a permit. I was thinking about the fence inside the yard, but I didn't know that upgrading a fence needed to be also permitted. So I'll be working on this, and I'll make sure that I'll have it done within 60 days.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 33, it's on Placido and Herminia Placencio, case number CEBPR 2022-00205. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022. Fine was set at $150 plus $100 cost assessment. The officer is Aaron Barber, and I believe we need a Spanish interpreter as well.
Miss St. Louis, could you repeat the number, please?
Sure, item number 33.
Okay.
If you're here on behalf of this property, can you please click the raise hand button?
Yes, they're here in person.
Oh, they're here physically.
All right. Anybody here on behalf of the owner?
No English.
Yeah, I think you need to give me permission. You can now start video. Oh, there we go.
Please state your full name and address for the record.
Señor, por favor, diga su nombre completo y dirección para la grabación.
Mi nombre es Plácido Placencio. La dirección mía es 1320 Noroeste de la 126 Street.
Please raise your right hand. I could swear him in.
Okay, entonces, all right, so before interpreting that, I will go ahead and proceed with his oath. Entonces, señor, antes de seguir, por favor, si puede levantar su mano derecha, le estarán haciendo el juramento.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please say I do.
¿Jura usted solemnemente que el testimonio que estará a punto de dar será la verdad y nada más que la verdad en el nombre de Dios? Por favor, diga. ¿Usted jura?
Sí, yo juro que no eché ese semen.
No, that's not what he's asking.
Voy a repetir la pregunta, señor. ¿Jura usted solemnemente que su testimonio estará diciendo la verdad y nada más que la verdad en el nombre de Dios? Por favor, diga.
Señor.
Okay,
Sí,
gracias.
señor.
Yes, I do. Okay, so continuing interpretation. My name is Placido Plasencia. My address, the address is 1320 Northwest 126th Street.
Are you the owner of the property?
¿Usted es el dueño de la propiedad?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
And I heard you say in Spanish that you did not pour the concrete.
Y creo que usted dijo en español que usted no puso el concreto. ¿No
Sí,
tiró
señor.
concreto?
Sí, tengo 22 años que compré esa casa con eso. Yo lo he reparado, pero no lo eché.
So yes, sir. I have 22 years being the owner of this house, and I didn't do that.
Looks pretty new to me. Let me ask the city code officer to present and tell me why there's evidence that it was a recent pour rather than one that was done 22 years ago.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case was previously adjudicated. When I inspected the property, inspecting the area, I did note that nearly the entire front yard of the home is covered in concrete. I checked the permits. I checked in our legacy permits that go back further in the system, and there are no permits on file for the work that was done, for the concrete that was poured. I don't know when the concrete was poured or when anything was added, any repairs were made, but again, checking back in our system, there's nothing on file. And again, it's nearly the entire front yard is covered in concrete. And as of the final recheck date, there are still no permits and no applications on file.
And this was previously adjudicated, I suppose, by a prior special magistrate?
This was previously adjudicated in June.
In June. And
Yes.
the fine was set at 150.
Yes, sir.
And was the property owner present?
No, sir. No, he was not present.
Okay. Let me go back to the owner.
Magistrate, can the interpreter interpret? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Entonces, señor, ahorita lo que ahorita se le estaba preguntando a la señorita Edith Barber, que es la oficial de código, se le estaba preguntando con respecto a que si hay evidencia con respecto a cuándo se puso esta encementada. A lo que ella responde, pues no hay en sí una información certera de cuándo es que se hizo la encementación, pero en el sistema no existen permisos o no existe aplicación para un permiso para el trabajo de esta encementada que se presenta en todo el patio de enfrente, ya que todo el patio de enfrente está cubierto con él. Entonces, por el momento, esto no se encuentra en el sistema, no se encuentran los permisos necesarios para ello.
Sí, entonces, pero lo que yo digo es, cuando yo compré en el 2000, que yo compré esa casa 2001, tenía el cemento, lo que lo tenía por muchos pedazos rotos, yo lo cosas. Si ha tenido una relación, el condado no acepta que yo compré esa casa en el 2001 que yo la compré. Yo no he echado más cemento ahí, yo lo pinto. Todos los años yo lo pinto. Y reparé unos pedazos que se rompieron. Ya en el primer día yo se lo dije, yo los reparé unos pedazos que se rompieron, pero yo la compré así, de barata así, por dentro y por fuera.
So, I actually purchased the property in 2001, and the concrete that is present in the back and the front yard, it had broken parts in the concrete. So since then, I've been fixing those broken parts, as well as that every year I painted. I paint the concrete. But it has been since 2001 that I have purchased this property and been fixing it.
When was the house built?
¿Cuándo la casa fue construida?
Bueno, la casa dice que fue construida en el 48.
It states that the house was built in 1948.
Ms. Barber, is it possible that when the house was built in 1948 and it obtained a final CO, that concrete was already approved at that time, and that the fact that the property owner has been fixing it or painting it or improving it over the years, does that mean that he needs a permit to do that?
I can't testify to when the property was built. I do know that currently there are setbacks. The concrete's not permitted to go all the way up to the property line. And again, I did check our legacy permits. They don't go back that far. They don't go back to the 40s, 50s, or 60s, but they do go back some years, and there was nothing on file.
But the setback could have changed over the years, and you may have a larger setback now, but back, 40 years ago, maybe the setback was as the property is laid out right now. I'm having trouble understanding if he's been there 20 some years and the deck has been there 20 some years, why does he need a permit now? Maybe there was a permit issued when the house was CO'd.
Magistrate, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. Perhaps it's a non-conforming use. Perhaps there was some changes done to the zoning code over the years. I would ask that, if you wouldn't be okay with it, we would ask that you would table the matter and that the property owner would take the time to go see those in our zoning office and just have them review the asphalt or the driveway. They could probably look at some historical records and provide for some clarification as it relates to the matter. And as such, we could, deal with the issue from there.
Okay, that's very sensible. I'd like the interpreter to let the property owner know what Ms. Patterson just said.
If I may, before that, I'm referring to Google Images.
Hold on, okay, let him interpret because it's been a lot of conversation. Please. Thank you.
So I will interpret that three parts. Well, you have to sit from three parts so far. Entonces, bueno, ahorita lo que había preguntado el señor Smith, el magistrado especial, a la señorita Barber, es lo que le había preguntado, que si había, si ella pudiera dar información o si ella pudiera opinar con respecto a que se hubiera tenido los permisos apropiados en el momento que se construyó la casa, que se hizo los sellos, que se hizo el sellamiento, del concreto, eso pues tomando en cuenta que era en 1948. Lo que la señorita Barber pues comenta que no existen los documentos que comprueben eso, ya que el sistema sí se va unos años atrás, pero no va hasta los 40, 50 o 60. Entonces aquí se crea esta duda donde si la ley ha sido modificada con el transcurso del tiempo para ver si este reglamento ha cambiado, en el sentido de que antes tal vez no se necesitaban permisos, sí se necesitaban permisos para hacer esto. Además de que en este caso, ahorita tomando en cuenta las leyes actuales o vigentes, es que el concreto no está permitido que cubra completamente la parte del frente del patio. Ahorita ahorita la señorita Patterson intervino, donde ella comenta que es correcto lo que es correcto lo que se está hablando, lo que ya la duda que se está poniendo. Entonces lo que sería apropiado sería tal vez estarle dando tiempo a usted para que vaya con la oficina de la que encargada de zona a que revisen el tema del asfalto con usted. Entonces, porque probablemente ellos tengan esta información histórica que nos puedan proveer para tener para que esto sea más claro. Ahí es cuando el oficial Pérez también quería comentar algo. Deme un segundo, por favor, señor. Mr. Perez, you can go ahead.
All right, my apologies. As I was going to mention previously, I'm referring to Google Images right now, and based off an image from 2014 to a current image post 2016, you could tell that the concrete was poured right on 2014, between 2014 and 2016. And I can share my screen and depict that.
Entonces, lo que ahorita comenta el oficial Pérez es que tomando en cuenta las imágenes que ahorita está presentando, se toma en cuenta una imagen del 2014 y luego se está comparando con una del 2016, donde se muestra que sí hubo un encementado posterior. O sea que en el 2014 o dentro de este año se hizo el encementado y ahí lo está indicando en la pantalla.
Is that concrete or is that paint?
This appears to be concrete. Get a more refined image as we go closer to the years. It's a more refined image. So that's concrete. I'll do the most recent one. This one's a little blurry. But this is the most recent image. You can tell that all of this is concrete. Whereas back in 2014, for example, you could tell that there was a patch of grass there. That's greenery. That's all greenery.
And were those trees removed?
It appears that the trees are removed as well. So you can tell here, this is a perfect image where it shows all that's greenery. Whereas if we go to the most latest image here, so some of the trees are removed, this palm tree remains, and all of this appears to be concrete. So without a doubt, this was done recently, not before the gentleman purchased the property.
Okay, I was going to say it in Spanish. Can you, Mr. Interpreter, can you explain what Officer Perez just said?
Entonces, mire, ahí como le estaba comentando ahorita, el señor Pérez estaba comparando las imágenes que se estaba mostrando pues imágenes satelitales de Google que muestran la propiedad, donde en el 2014 se veía claramente una parte que es verde, que tenía pasto y que tenía algunos árboles que después en las imágenes posteriores, de años posteriores, se ve que está encementado y que hubo algunos árboles que se removieron. Sí, se nota la palma que se quedó ahí, pero se removieron algunos árboles, así como también se encementó. Entonces, sin duda alguna, se muestra que esa encementada se hizo después de la compra de esta propiedad, de la adquisición de esta propiedad.
Perdón, mire, en el 2011 yo hice la cerca de adelante, le saqué permiso, busquen a la señora, la inspectora, que yo le saqué el permiso y le pregunten a ver si había palo ahí más o si no estaba el cemento, pues, en el 2011, pues. Pregúntenle a ella a ver si no estaba el cemento puesto y yo lo he hecho ahí hice yo, nomás yo repararlo. Ahí no se ha muchado más palo no se ha muchado ahí adentro no se ha muchado más palo. Podemos decir de váyanos. Y yo juro que ahí no se mucho palo ni se echó más cemento. De que yo lo reparo, a ver que se rompe un pedazo. Sí, manden una comisión para que lo vean cómo está todo desmoloñado, porque lo ven así en la computadora, así, que vayan al puesto para que miren a ver cómo que está, para que miren, a ver si eso fue un agente, que sepa que entró ese cemento.
So, you can review the permit that I did back in 2011 for a fence. You can look for that with the detective or the person who did that, and you can ask that person about how the state of the concrete was. The only thing that I have done to that is that I have only repaired that. I haven't cut any trees. I haven't cut any trees, and I haven't poured any more concrete over there. So if you see it in the computer, you don't actually see how is it. So you will need to send someone who can inspect the place.
Is there a permit for 2011 for a fence?
We're looking in the system now. I'm not sure. I don't see anything from 2011 in the system. There doesn't appear to be a permit dating back to 2011.
Not see a permit either.
I'm sorry. I see there's something dating back to 2003 for a fence, a 5-foot white iron front and side fence. Which I don't know that there would be anything referenced. It's a fence permit, so they wouldn't have documented anything regarding the driveway on a fence permit.
Okay, Officer Perez, when you look at a picture like from Google from 2014, and you compare it to the picture from 2017, can you tell whether there's new concrete put in, or?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, can you tell whether somebody, or can you tell whether somebody who previously had concrete put in early on, 20, 30 years ago, who then came back and painted over the concrete? Can you tell the difference by looking at those images?
Most definitely, and I'll show the screen again so you can see what I mean here. I'm going back to now one from 2013, which is a little bit further, but this one has a little bit more of a clear view. That is clearly grass. That is not cement. That is not concrete right there in this general area here. And that is the home, 1320 Northwest 120.
Okay, so that green area there is currently paved over?
Yes, sir.
That is correct. If we refer now to the latest image,
The whole front yard is
clearly
concrete.
tell that's all concrete.
Okay, I'd like the interpreter to leave that image there, Jose. I'd like the interpreter to explain to the property owner that there's clear evidence of improvement in that patio area from what it was early on.
Okay, entonces mire señor, aquí estamos viendo las imágenes donde claramente esta es una imagen de 2014. Aquí está indicada su dirección, la 1320 Northwest 126 Street. Ahí se ve claramente en la esquina superior derecha de la propiedad que estaba verde, y ahí ahora comparando con la última fotografía que se tiene, se ve definitivamente que hay una mejora en el patio. Ahí puede ver que hay cemento y no como la parte de la anterior. Mr. Perez, if you can go back.
Mira, eso no vamos a quedar en acuerdo en nada.
Y ahí vemos, señor, ahí vemos en la imagen que es verde, que es pasto.
Sí, pero le digo yo que ahí no se ha hecho nada. Pueden enviar por ahí, preguntarle a toda la zona por ahí, si han visto, como ustedes dicen, en ese tiempo un camión en esa zona ahí echando cemento. Que ahí no se ha echado cemento, dice aquí parado. Que ahí lo único que se ha hecho es que se ha reparado, porque vive gente y uno, para vivir bien, uno lo repara. Que manden una comisión a ver si el cemento está echado de gente que sabe o no. En el 2001, cuando yo compré esa casa, lo que estaba era por donde quiera tenía un pedazo rompido y yo lo iba reparando con fundita de cemento. Con funda comprando un hondito, pues no fue que yo ni sé bien echado. Así que esa historia, le dije, busquen la señora que tiene que estar por ahí en el sistema. Cuando ella me mandó a sacar el permiso de la cerca, a ver si no estaba todo el cemento puesto. Eso es lo que yo digo. Aquí lo digo, aquí, y donde haya que ir.
What is, obviously we have a very direct difference. I mean, logically, I agree with the city. It makes sense that work was done without a permit. And yet, the gentleman is adamant that he did nothing. So how do we reconcile?
If the building official wants to chime in, Magistrate, I think he has something he wants to add.
Okay, so let me have the interpreter interpret what just happened.
Okay. Well, the part that he said, we have done, we haven't done it. You can ask to the neighbors, you can ask to the people to the area if in those years, if they have looked some kind of chalk pouring concrete over there. The only thing that we have done over there is that we have only repaired to live well, and you can send someone who knows to take a look on that. As well as you can ask, you can review the information of that lady or ask the lady who made the permit of the fence to testify for that. Now, I'll be interpreting what you just said, Mr. Magistrate. Entonces, bueno, ahorita pues es obvio que yo estoy de parte del condado en el sentido de que se ve claramente que hubo un trabajo hecho, aunque usted pues ahorita está pues dando la respuesta contraria. Entonces ahorita vamos a estar viendo cómo vamos a conciliar esto. Primeramente estaremos escuchando al señor este señor que estará comentando con respecto a la información que ya hemos hablado. Denme un segundo, por favor.
Yeah, explain to him that the gentleman that's about to speak is the city's building official.
Thank you. Entonces aquí la persona que comenzará a hablar, el caballero que comenzará a hablar es el oficial de inspecciones de construcción.
Okay, sir.
Yes, thank you, Special Magistrate. Yeah, from the pictures I saw, I believe Officer Perez placed, it looked like they poured a section where the grass area was. Because in cases, and this is, is not the first case I see where people poured, the whole front of concrete because there's an issue with drainage because water is now going to be poured on the neighboring properties because the surface now is impervious, and also the setbacks. So it looks to me definitely there was concrete poured where the grass area was to now concrete section. So someone poured that concrete. I don't know.
Is this something that can be legalized, or does he need to go to zoning now to make sure that he's not encroaching on the setbacks?
In cases I've seen in the past, he's gonna, if he wants to keep the exact configuration, he may need to go for a variance, or he can, when he submits for the permit, he may need to cut either like 5 foot back from the property line in order for him to meet some setbacks. So you would need to remove sections of concrete to be in compliance with setbacks, or go through the variance process to keep that the entire. Yeah, but it's going to be a little difficult because that the drainage issue for the there's nowhere water can go, so it might be an issue when he goes in front of the.
Yeah, I believe that planning is going to require some greenery.
Yeah.
In the front for drainage purposes, and he may have to tear down some of that work. I hate to run fines on the gentleman. I think he's confused There's the house, there's the green, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Can you explain, can the interpreter explain to the property owner that putting concrete over that greenery may be in violation of planning and zoning laws?
Bien, señor. Entonces, de acuerdo a lo que el oficial de construcción ha comentado, aquí vemos que pues sí está violando lo que respecta a la ley de planeación. Que usted, o sea, porque usted no está en cumplimiento con lo que la ley está estableciendo con respecto a que que el área verde le puso el encementado. Se necesita tener esa área verde. Should I explain about the situation about the drainage? Why is it that it needs to be?
That's critical.
Okay, entonces, mire. Lo que pasa es que la razón por la que es necesario tener área verde y no que esté completamente cementado es para que cuando llueva haya una posibilidad de drenaje y que no se inunde. Es por eso que no se estaría en cumplimiento.
¿Qué quieren que yo lo arranque? Que yo arranque el cemento.
So do you want me to remove the concrete?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he needs to get a permit to legalize whatever work was done. And if the planning department requires removal of the concrete, then he's going to have to do it. But that's going to be a planning issue. It's not a special magistrate issue.
Entonces, lo que no estoy diciendo eso, lo que le estoy diciendo es que usted necesitaría un permiso para legalizar el trabajo que se realizó.
No.
Señor,
sí,
no me interrumpa, por favor, señor. No me interrumpa. Gracias. Ok, entonces necesita usted un permiso para legalizar el trabajo que se está haciendo, es lo que estoy comentando, y en sí esta situación lo estaría manejando el equipo de planeación. Esto no es algo esto no es una situación que es llevada a cabo por el magistrado especial. Ahora sí, se puede continuar.
Oiga, le digo, yo no saco el permiso porque si yo saco el permiso, me estoy perjudicando que yo lo eché. Yo puedo, porque la casa es mía, si hay que cortarle 4 o 6 pies al cemento, yo se lo corto, pero sacar permiso no, porque yo no lo eché. Si yo me pongo a sacar permiso, me estoy perjudicando que yo eché el cemento. Y si yo no lo eché, yo no lo puedo sacar. Que me lo prueben que yo eché cemento, eso es lo que yo quiero. Que me prueben que yo eché cemento. Porque si yo no lo he echado, no voy a sacar permiso. Yo saqué permiso para mi seca porque yo le eché. Pero ese cemento yo no lo eché. Si hay que cortarle 4 pies, yo se lo corto y lo dejo así, sin cemento. Pero no va a sacar permiso, porque yo no lo eché. Si yo saco permiso, me estoy perjudicando que yo lo hice. Y si usted no hace una cosa, usted se muere diciendo que no lo hizo. No lo hizo. Me pueden llevar preso. 20 años que me metan preso, que ya yo no lo voy a aguantar 20 años, porque estoy viejo, ya tengo 74. Pero fue el tiempo diciendo que no lo eché. Si no lo eché, no lo eché. Le digo que en el 2011 eché mi seca.
Un segundo, señor, antes para poderlo interpretar correctamente. So I will not get the permit because I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So if you ask me to cut down the concrete from like maybe 4 to 6 feet, I will do it. But I will not get the permit, because if I get the permit, I will the only one that will be I'll be harming myself in this case, because I'll be accepting that I was the one who put the concrete, but I didn't. And if you didn't do something, just stick to that that you didn't. For example, whenever I wanted to put a fence, because the fence I did it, that's the reason that I tramited the permit back then. But I will just state to this. That I didn't do it, so I will not get a permit. And even if I get to jail or anything, we'll say that I didn't do it.
Magistrate, the city would just Magistrate, if I may, the city would just ask. I mean, we would ask that you not ratify the fine today. It seems like an adjudication has already been entered. We would be okay with giving him another 30 days to perhaps, since he didn't come to the first hearing, to go visit zoning and determine what's going to be required of him, seeing as he's, okay with modifying, again, the driveway, and seeing where we are in 30 days.
Yeah, I think that's the right solution. I think, he will go to the firing squads before he will concede that he did anything wrong. So I think that in trying to resolve this in everybody's best interest, I think that somebody or some people in the city ought to sit down with him and in a nice, positive, constructive way, explain to him what needs to be done and help him through it. Because, putting $100,000 in fines is not going to change anything. He's not going to go and get a permit because he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Well, he won't need a permit at this point necessarily. I mean, if he's willing to modify and bring it into compliance, the permit that he would obtain now would cure whatever, because he'd be fixing it at this point. So I think, it sounds like he's willing to do that. So I think in all fairness, the city's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna table it because, damned if I do and damned if I don't. And I just don't see compliance without somebody sitting down with him in a nice way and explaining that certain things need to be corrected. And I think he's willing to do something. I think he's willing to remove a portion of the concrete to comply with any potential zoning violations. But other than that, you're not going to move him. So feel free to interpret what the plan is, Mr. Interpreter. We're going to table it. We're going to have he's going to have to come into the city, and we're going to go over the issues with him in a courteous, professional way, and we're going to show him what needs to happen so that he can live the rest of his years in peace and quiet.
And just to confirm, Special Magistrate, you said that he will need to go to the city, right?
Yes, he will have to meet with city officials to talk over the things that need to be done.
Sure. Bien, señor. Entonces, para estar estableciendo una decisión con lo que estará pasando en este caso, lo que usted necesita hacer es, ya que nosotros entendemos que usted sí está dispuesto a que, si en dado caso haya un conflicto con el equipo de zona de planeación, si usted está de acuerdo con remover partes del concreto, usted puede ir a la ciudad y hablar con ellos para que en la ciudad le estén proporcionando las instrucciones de manera cordial y profesional con respecto a qué es lo que usted tendría que estar removiendo para que esté en cumplimiento. No es en sí estará sacando permiso, es solamente para que usted esté en cumplimiento.
Mira, lo que yo les digo a ustedes, a mí me mandaron de allá para acá, me dijeron allá, ve allá, ellos que te van a decir, porque nosotros no podemos hacer nada cuando me mandaron la cita. Nosotros aquí lo que sacamos es permiso de ellos que tienen que decir. Ustedes quieren, manden una gente, o yo le corto los 4 pies a la izquierda y lo dejo así. Si no, miren a ver lo que te van a hacer, porque yo no puedo hacer más nada de ahí. Porque es como le digo, si yo lo iba a echar al cemento, no iba a estar pasando esto, porque yo ya sacaba mi permiso. Porque cuando yo eché mi cerca, que me costó el permiso, 100 y pico, 11 pesos, 111 pesos yo creo que fue. Yo no averigüé. Yo vine y pagué mi permiso y lo saqué. La señora me dijo, póngalo en la puerta en la ventana ahí, pégalo ahí. Ahí duró hasta que se escondió, la brisa se lo llevó.
Mr. Interpreter, I don't want to rehash the case again. Is he willing or is he not willing to come to the city and meet with a representative per my order to discuss the issues and try to resolve them in a good faith manner? If not, then we'll have to do other things.
Bien, señor, entonces, esto es para asegurarnos de qué es lo que usted estaría dispuesto a hacer y qué es la decisión que estará tomando. Entonces, por orden mía, o sea, hablando del magistrado que tenemos aquí, por orden mía, le estoy diciendo que usted tendría que ir a la ciudad para que nosotros discutiéramos de la situación de buena fe. Si no quiere hacer eso, vamos a tener que tomar otra vía.
Pero si yo fui ahí a la ciudad ahí, donde dan el permiso. Yo fui ahí, que ahí verá que yo no sabía andar y yo fui ahí. Y de ahí, ya yo he venido 5 veces.
Tell him he needs to come back.
Necesita volver, señor.
5 veces he venido yo aquí en este mismo problema.
Y 10 veces si hace falta.
Bueno, hasta 20 hay que decir yo voy, porque la propiedad es mía. Pero donde quiera que voy, digo que yo no lo eché. 20 veces hay que ir, 20 veces voy, pero yo no lo eché.
Mr. Magistrate?
Yes, sir.
If I may, he can, when he finished there, he can just walk over to the next building. We'll give him a card and set an appointment so I can sit down with him.
Which building?
The building next to Code, the building that he's in, just to walk next door.
Okay.
We're going to set up appointments.
Somebody needs to knock some sense into him because he's everything he's doing, he's hurting himself. So, Mr. Interpreter, just explain to him. All he has to do is go over to meet with the building official, and everything will be explained to him to his satisfaction, hopefully.
Bien, mire, señor, entonces ahorita que terminemos ya esta sesión, usted estará pasando al edificio de al lado. En el edificio de al lado, usted se juntará con el caballero que tenemos aquí, que es el oficial de construcción. Él será la persona que esté hablando con usted, que van a estar explicándose las cosas a su satisfacción. ¿Está bien?
Buena acción esa, porque ahí él me va a decir a mí. Si hay que cortarlo, yo lo corto. Pero es que, como le digo, yo voy a donde haya que ir. Y conjuro y juro que yo no lo eché. Yo permiso no saco porque yo no sé la profundidad que tiene. Para yo decirle a usted, no le eché ni tanto, sin saberlo.
No estamos hablando de eso, señor. Estamos hablando de otra cosa ahora.
Bueno, pues perdóneme, pero ustedes creen, no sé cómo es la cosa. Yo voy a pasar al lado.
Vaya a ver al señor, que él lo va a ayudar a resolver el problema.
Ok, eso es lo que se quiere, resolver el problema.
Ok, bueno.
Okay. Gracias.
Okay, I just explained what he needs to do now. Go see the building official to resolve the problem.
Do you have someone that speaks Spanish in the building department?
Yes, I'm going to have Vicky sit down with him. I'm going to let Vicky know now.
Mr. Jean, Mr. Building Official, you're the best. Let me tell you, you're a pleasure to have on these meetings, because a lot of them turn on issues that only you really have a deep understanding about, and you have a way about, helping people. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll table it until it comes back, if it comes back. Okay, let's go on to the next case.
Item number 14, can you guys hear me? Capri Gardens Condo Association, case number CEMHS 2022-00271. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022. Fine was set at $1,000 plus $100 cost assessment. The magistrate further ordered that the structural report to be submitted to the building official by March 25th, 2022. The knee officer is Aaron Barber. And I believe we have 3 people online for it, which is June O, Don Atkins.
All right, who's here? Who's here on behalf of the owner?
Hi, my name is Anisha. I am the president.
Okay, and you're here on behalf of the condo association?
That is correct.
Okay, do you understand the allegations that the city has made?
Yes.
And do you also understand that you were required by the special magistrate to correct those violations by July the 8th with a fine of $1,000 per day in the event of non-compliance, and you were supposed to provide a structural report. So what is the status of all that?
The report.
I need to swear her in.
All right, you need to be sworn in.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Okay, so please answer my question.
Sure. We got report. The report was delivered to the city. You have a record on it. We have a letter that it's not unsafe, as it was said before, and we are in the process of 50-year certification.
You said 50-year recertification?
That is correct.
Okay. And which report says that the building is not unsafe?
In your letter, in the letter of the city.
What letter is that?
Is this what we're referring to, building official?
Correct. Yeah, that was the letter that was hand delivered on the 15th, and I sent certified mailing, I believe, on Monday, and also posted that walkway section unsafe. But because it's a walkway, we can't close down the walkway. I posted it unsafe as a caution to the residents or guests that's either using or come close to that area, just to as a caution.
Yes, and our manager is secure with the cones and tape.
Okay. Is the Mr. Building Official, is the building itself unsafe for human habitation?
Well, the concern is that walkway. Yesterday, I received a letter signed and sealed by an engineer from Allied Building Inspection, the same engineering company that's doing their 50-year recertification. And it said, in bold, it says, it is our opinion that the building is not in imminent danger of collapse and may be occupied while repairs are being performed during the next 60 days. So he kind of gives a timeline on,
well, I hope he has plenty of liability insurance, because that doesn't look safe to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not an engineer, but I have eyes, and to me, that's not a safe situation.
Yeah.
And when this again is a case that has been previously adjudicated, it has exposed rebar and spalling. And the 50-year recertification basically is just a piece of paper. It doesn't deal with the actual repairs that need to happen. So what I want to hear from the property owner is, where are we in terms of repairing these conditions? By when do we hope to be finished with all the repairs?
Okay. We actually tried to hire construction restoration companies. We have 4 of them to give us a quote, but none of them were willing to do so until report is done. Report we're waiting for so long because Allied had engineer on a family leave. It was a death in the family, and they could not produce this report signed by him, for the longest time. Right now, we got the reports. We were delivered by email and also in a hard copy, as also the city of North Miami received it. We paid for the report to be accepted. And right now, we in the process of getting quotes to get repaired.
To get what?
Repaired.
Do you have a contract with a contractor to do the repairs?
A report was issued yesterday.
Sorry?
A report was issued yesterday.
That doesn't answer my question. Do you have a?
We don't have it yet. We're in the process.
Okay. I want to hear from the either the building official or a code officer about what action is necessary at this point.
Mr. Special Magistrate, I have the letter that I delivered to them late last week says my next step is to go to unsafe structure because I believe this was brought to me in February when Officer Barber basically presented the situation with the walkway. I went to the condo association office and I told them to put the tape in the cones because I can't really block off that area because it would, in the case of emergency, would be used as egress. So they did place the taping off that area, but when I recently visited last week, nothing was there, no taping off or coning off the area. So it wasn't maintained during that time. So my only choice now is to bring it to unsafe, unless they, turn around tomorrow or, to get a contractor, I would stop moving forward.
We're in the process. Believe me.
Yeah, that's not acceptable after all this time and despite warnings from the building official, I just don't buy it, quite frankly. So I am going to ratify the fines that were ordered, and I'm going to suggest to the building official, I can't order him, that he should consider starting the process to declare the building unsafe and take whatever other action are necessary for the public safety. So based on the testimony of all the city officials that have presented, including the chief building official, the photographs and all the evidence presented, reflecting that the property is still out of compliance since the abatement date of July 8th. I find in favor of the city ratify the fines accrued to date and assess costs against the property. The fines shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance. I'm, considering the potential hazards and post Champlain Towers, we have to be very careful about how much leeway we give a condo association when it comes to these types of issues, exposed rebar and spalling. I don't want you people there at this condo to be the next Champlain Towers. So, Mr. Building Official, keep your eyes peeled. Make sure that nothing happens that hurts the people there. And if you need to exercise your discretion by ordering the residents to vacate, that's your authority. Please feel free to use it at your discretion. So that's it. Next case.
Thank you.
Item number 37, Valentine Fleur Remar, case number CEBPR 2022-00328. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022. Fine was set at $150 plus $100 cost assessment. The officer is Aaron Barber. This person is here in person.
You said it's case 37?
That is correct.
Okay. Anybody here on behalf of the owner?
Yes, someone's here, Magistrate.
Please announce yourself.
Sir, please raise your right hand.
Yes.
Raise your right hand.
Yes.
Patient interpreter.
Sir, do you need a Creole interpreter?
Hello. If they have one, I will take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna swear him in, okay?
Ok.
Please,
Quittez mes doigts en l'air, s'il vous plaît.
you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, please say I do.
Est-ce que vous jurez solennellement que tout ça que vous allez dire pendant la procédure, ça, c'est la vérité, et rien d'autre que vérité, et que bon Dieu vienne en aide? Dis oui, s'il vous plaît, c'est d'accord.
Oui.
Yes, I do.
Sir, please state your full name and address for the record.
Monsieur dit nom complet avec et quittez me faire prêter pour et puis après on va parler pour éviter confusion. Donc dis nom complet avec adresse s'il vous plaît et pour enregistrement.
Valentin Fleurima, 1050 Nord-Ouest 123 Suite, North Miami, Florida, 33 168.
Sir, you're being charged with a violation of Section 5-32, building a metal panel fence without a permit. You understand that?
Donc monsieur, yo chargé ou selon dossier 5-32 dans les réglementations construction parce que gain construction yon clôture en métal qui fait sans permis. Vous comprenez ça?
Non, c'est dit que il y a 7 mois de m'acheter Kaila. Et au cas pas moi devant la Clerk m'acheter Kaila comme ça. Et Fenyo, Getyo, c'est pas pour dire c'est bon yoye, c'est couleur gris que vous avez, c'est moins que tiré en blanc. Yo paraît on tigeant. Mais m'acheter Kaila comme ça.
All right,
Boy, that was a long answer for a yes or no.
Bon, et au bas, il y a une réponse qui est longue, oui, pour on bagarre autant de répondre par oui ou par non.
Répétez ça dit encore.
Réponse au bas, elle est longue en pile, alors qu'on t'a de répondre par oui ou par non.
Donc, mais qui s'agit là? Tu dis répéter encore, vous m'entendez?
All right, the interpreter will go ahead and repeat the question for him. Raison qui fait là aujourd'hui, c'est parce que, et alors c'est par rapport à règlement construction 5-32 et pour un barrage aux clôtures en métal qui ont monté et sans permis. Est-ce que vous comprenez ça?
Yes or no?
Non.
No.
You were found guilty though back in July or June.
Mais yo t'ai trouvé que tu es coupable en juillet quoi ou en juin?
Non, pas de jamais joindre une opportunité qui pour me déranger là.
No, I never had an opportunity to appear before a judge.
Okay, let me have the city present and also tell me that there was proper service for the first hearing and tell me how that came about and what is the nature of the violation.
Aaron Barber. Sorry. After you.
Thank you. Et quand nous allons quitter le représentant ville parler un peu de l'apparition qui était faite déjà, de qui genre tout ça, procédure ça a été faite, et puis de violation qui gagne en tout, et pour nous gagner tout le détail de lui.
Ok.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. If I may, are you asking the city to go through notice for the first violation that already occurred?
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if you showed that he was properly served for the first time, because if he was not properly served, then I'm going to set aside the violation. He says he never got noticed.
I'm not sure that the first violation is in front of you. That's what I'm asking. That's all.
No, I'm not saying the first violation. This is a violation where he was found guilty at a prior hearing, and so I am being asked to ratify that violation and assess fines. And so I want to make sure that he received proper notice for the hearing upon which he was found guilty.
Okay, understood.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. As noted, this case has been previously adjudicated. The initial inspection was in February. Notice was mailed, certified. Notice to appear was mailed, certified, and posted at the property. There are photos for the postings. This was for the fence that was installed. There were no permits in the system, and as of the final recheck date, there are still no permits in the system.
And it's that white fence, not the fence in the rear over by the right side of the house. It's not that fence.
It's the fence in the rear. It's the white iron fence out front. That's not the one that the violation is for. It's the fence in the rear.
It's the fence in the rear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to ask the property owner if he recognizes that white fence in the rear. Let's show him the picture of it.
Et alors, nous voulons montrer aux images là, et puis pour dire, moi, monsieur, est-ce qu'on reconnaît clôture ça qui est peinturée en blanc, qui est derrière là?
Oui, je reconnais. Mais comment
yes, I recognize it.
Whose fence is that?
Pour qui est-ce lié?
Fence dans ces fences pas mieux, mais marqué Kailavel.
It is mine, but I bought the house with it.
7 mois écoulés.
When did he buy the house? When did he buy the house with it?
7 months.
7 months ago.
Okay. So, did he ever pull a permit for that fence?
Est-ce que tu as sorti un permis pour clôturer ça?
Non, je ne peux pas sortir un permis, même je viens ensemble avec. C'est-à-dire qu'il coulait à son coulé gris, je change en blanc.
No, I cannot pull up a permit because I bought it. I bought the house with it. The only thing I did was painting it. It was gray before, and I painted and turned it white.
Okay. Explain to the property owner that, yes, I understand that he did not put up the fence, but that fence on that house that he purchased was put up without a permit.
Oui, moi comprendre que alors c'est pas au même qui mettait clôture là, mais quand on a acheté avec clôture là-dedans, clôture ça yo te metté là-dedans sans un permis.
Mais comment faire, c'est sur moi pour dire mais côté OTE nous t'avons posé question comme ça. Mais qui côté OTE qui pas dire ça. C'est le fin acheter à l'avance comment si on fait ça sur qui injustifié. Ça, c'est discrimination. Pas payer pour un bagage qui me pas connaît.
But how come they're noticing it and putting it on me? Where were they before I bought the house? Why didn't they notice it before? I feel like this is a discrimination, and I can't be paying for something I didn't do.
Well, because that's what the code says. If you buy a house and you don't have all the right permits, the city can come and cite you.
Bien, c'est parce que c'est ça code yo dit, et si toutefois vous achetez un caille et vous pas gain tout permis au poli et bureau ville capable fini et compte sur ça.
Mais le travail acheté caille là que financier caille là il pas déjà monté. S'il était monté, il a réclamé. Mais c'est l'inspecteur a passé, l'inspecteur a ouais. C'est-à-dire qu'il n'est pas déjà dans le book. Mais si pas dans le book, qui a fait que marche de là, il n'a pas réclamé. Il ne peut pas dire quelqu'un qui a parce qu'il n'a pas déjà dans le book. C'est l'inspecteur a passé, l'inspecteur a dit comme ça que c'est l'INEF. Et pas vrai. C'est discrimination.
Sorry, the interpreter needs to get some clarification from him just for accuracy. Excusez, monsieur, ou dit que l'autre tabac de Kailan, il y a un monde qui pas de cas jeune, yon bagay qui est sous te dit?
Non,
Finance,
c'est
finance.
On connaît que le va faire et procéder pour acheter Kailan final mon baya cap changer avec l'autre baya, on comprend? Comment dire ça encore? C'est que depuis pas où en tout papier, pas papier clair, ou pas rien qui pourrait avec encore. C'est si que on bagaille et que moun ça tape stop, il t'a fait on en payer. Mais puisque il pas stop pour faire on en payer, tout bagaille clair.
All right. When I was buying the house, the counselor, the person who is in the middle to manage the deal, they didn't find anything. And when it was on the after, they had to send an inspector. If they had sent one before that to notice everything that needed to be done, then it would have been different. But that wasn't done at that time, and I had already bought the house.
Well, that's still no excuse, sir. Not everybody that speeds gets a ticket, but just because you get a ticket for speeding doesn't mean that the police officer is discriminating against you because he cites you and not someone else. The city cannot be everywhere at the same time, and they don't always uncover code violations because they don't have enough inspectors to go around to look at every house.
Bon, normalement, monsieur, c'est pas tout le monde qui a fait vitesse qui recevoir contravention. Mais normalement, depuis un monde a fait vitesse, on supposé prendre contravention. Donc, si on police et qu'il y a un monde qui a fait vitesse et puis le bali en contravention, ça va veut dire que la police là a fait discrimination contre le monde ça. Donc, c'est même genre, bureau ville lui-même, il pas gagné assez inspecteurs qui pour dans la rue chaque jour et pour regarder tout cas. Et donc, c'est raison ça qui fait que yo pas capable de découvrir toute violation de code là qui gagne en même temps, mais ça que yo joignent yo, il y a pas gérer yo. Donc, ça on dit il pas une excuse vraiment.
Bon, s'il pas on excuse et m'ta remet pour tes questions non plus gros appel parce que m'pas payer pour ça. Parce que m'pas finir acheter un cas, m'pas toute l'agence là sur lui 40 000
Okay,
dollars.
we're gonna move on because if he's telling me that he had an attorney or a counselor, it would have been evident that the original plans that were approved by the city and permitted and CO'd would have been different from what was out there when he finally purchased the house, which would have raised some questions as an attorney whether the work was done without a permit. So I am going to ratify the fines and encourage him very strongly to go out and get a permit. It's not a very time consuming or expensive proposition to go and get a permit for a fence. So based on the testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented, I find that the property is still out of compliance, hereby ratify the fines accrued to date and set and the fines shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is full compliance. Please have interpreter, please explain that to the property owner.
Bon, et normalement, si ça va dire, c'est que vous gagnez un avocat et que vous pouvez aller plus loin avec ça. Alors, nous-mêmes, n'a pas avancé. Et parce que, alors, m'a ratifié et amende qui était balan et puis m'a encouragé et fortement pour capable aller sortir bien parce que c'est pas un magasin qui vraiment pour prendre pile temps et ou bien qui est difficile pour faire. Donc, nous avons ratifié l'amendement et qui a pu continuer chaque jour à accumuler jusqu'à ce que et ça finit réglé pour gagner un permis parce que l'espace n'est toujours pas en accord, pas en règle avec le code.
Okay, we're done. Next case.
Non fini, merci.
Thank you.
Item number 16, Ernest M. Jimenez, case number CEBPR 2022-00446. The officer is Gennaro Murillo. Yeah.
What do we have here on behalf of the case?
Ernest M. Jimenez.
Ernest Jimenez. Mr. Jimenez, can you enable your audio and video, please?
Can you please swear the witness?
Please raise your right hand, sir, and unmute your video. You guys are on mute.
You got it now. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Do you need a Spanish interpreter?
No.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
Yes, I do.
Sir, please state your full name and address for the record.
Ernest Michael Jimenez, 2325 Arch Creek Drive, North Miami, Florida, 33181.
Are you the owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
You're being charged with performing interior renovations without an approved permit, and there's a stop work order. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and so how much time do you need to get a permit to complete those renovations? Have you applied for a permit?
Yes, I have.
When did you apply for a permit?
We applied in March. What was it?
No, I'm going to
May.
tell you in 5 seconds. Give me 1 sec.
Can we send you a copy?
June 8th.
June 8th. Can I send you the copy of the application, the thing for the receipt that I got from the city?
I'm sure that the building official has access to it.
Well, last time I spoke, excuse me, but last time I spoke to him, he said that they didn't have it.
Is there an email address where the property owner can email his building permit application?
Magistrate, he would have received that from the building department, so I'm not sure that that's relevant at this time. I think we're hearing the case for the first time and the city's looking for an adjudication.
Okay, so I'm looking, let me hear from the city at this point, and let me understand exactly what kind of work was being done without a permit.
May I start?
Go ahead. Go ahead, officer.
Officer Murillo from City of North Miami. On March 24, a violation was observed at the property 2325 Arch Creek Drive with interior renovations with no permits. A stop work order was posted at the property. And as of my final inspection on July 8th, there was no compliance or application made. At this time, the city is asking for an adjudication and a compliance date.
This is what, a single family home?
Yes, sir.
And it's an entire house that was being done without a permit?
Yes, sir.
In North Miami?
Yes, sir.
It's bizarre, but let me hear from the, by the way, when this happens, do they have to pay a double permit fee?
I believe so, but the building official can confirm.
Mr. Building Official?
You may have stepped away.
Yes.
They have to pay a double building fee?
Yeah, if it's after the fact, there's a fine of a double permit fee attached to it, but it's a penalty that's built into the fee.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've now been special magistrate, maybe 4 years. First time I've seen a whole house being built without a permit. And you issued a stop work order, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there has been no work since you issued the stop work order.
No, the stop work order was posted on March 24th.
Okay. All right. Let me hear from the property owner one more time.
Okay. The whole thing came about that we had fixed the roof and there was water damage to the walls.
And you have a permit for that.
And we had the permit and the roof had been signed off and everything. Now, there was a crew that went there to open up the walls to see the extent of the damage that was on the wall. You know, the drywall, everything was wet. There was some rot in the wood and whatever. And on behold to the contractor that's here with me, the crew, instead of opening the walls to see what damage there was, they took him down. Now, the plan to repair the house was already being prepared by an architect and an engineer,
You have it.
which I have. And
On June 8th.
and when the inspector came over and saw the house, they stopped. And I got a hold of the contractor that's here with me, and he got a hold of the architect and the guy that was working on the plans and stuff. And the notice was for a demolition permit. So the architect drew up first a plan for demolition, and we submitted that to the city on a permit application, which I have
On June 8th.
on June 8th.
And the number is this one.
Okay, on June 8th the number was RE 2022.
RES.
Yeah,
RES.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just want to understand, what is your next step? What are you going to do next?
Okay, I have the contractor is here, and we have all the permits. We actually, I think we already applied for it, right? Online.
Yeah, again, can I talk?
Yeah, only if you're sworn and if you tell me your name.
Okay, should I proceed with term?
Swear him in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about? Raise your right hand, sir.
I do.
Your name, sir.
Ryan Carvajal.
Are you a general contractor?
I'm a general contractor for the job site, and also assisting him in order, and actually he's my friend, in order to move forward all this process that have been probably a little troubling in order to fix everything that you already mentioned.
Okay.
So
are you certified as a general contractor?
I do. I am.
Okay. By Dade County or the state?
By the state.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is the thing. We already, when the stop order came, we actually apply or look for the architect to do the demolition drawings. That was submitted on June 8th, only the demolition order, but in order to do or perform the other drawings like electrical, mechanical, and all that, we need to see the structure, and we need to open up whatever we need to see in order to fix it and draw accordingly to what we need in order to proceed and continue the process of the permits, right? So what happened is that we got in the middle, as I said, and we submit the demolition permit, but the city did not accept the demolition permit by himself. They also need all the other drawings for electrical, mechanical, plumbing. As you know, all those are different trades that needs to be different license. And at that point on, we had to start looking for contractors and drawings from each one of those trades, you know. As of yesterday at 1:39 in the night, we tried to submit everything online and it didn't let us. I don't know why we were given like a track number or something. And actually I have an email confirmation by June 8th saying, oh, that the owner needs to sign electronically something, but he couldn't even sign that. So at this point, we have all the drawings, we have everything here, and actually we have all the drawings here waiting, I'm not waiting, in order to go to the city and ask for permit, but we're gonna do it in person since the online system, I don't know what's going on, but I couldn't file it online system. So everything is done and we have it here, all the drawings, everything is here.
Okay, how long do you think it's going to take to complete the job?
I think to complete the job or for the permits to be requested?
No, the permit is relatively quick. How long do you feel it's going to take to complete the job?
I'm going to say 90 days. My expectation is by December, this guy's here having the Christmas dinner in his house.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let me hear from the city.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morillo.
Yes.
So the violation is for building without a permit, right?
Yes, sir.
And so if they pull a permit within the next 30 days, they comply.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what the problem was with filing the permit, but maybe you have to do it in person. But I'm going to give you 30 days within which to get a permit. If you don't, you're going to get fined on a daily basis. So you better make sure that either your computer or the city's computer is working, or you bring them personally to the building department to get your permit. And then you're just going to have to follow whatever the permit conditions are, and hopefully by Christmas you'll be celebrating. Anyway, my ruling is that based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and evidence presented, depicting that the cited violations still exist and the proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city. Enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated. Now understand, I'm not telling you when to finish, but I am telling you that if you don't have a permit within 30 days, you're going to get a daily fine of $500. So I think 30 days should be sufficient. Let's move on to the next case. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Next item is item number 17. Fritz Bervaz, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, and wife Giselle. Case number CERCV 2022-00147, and the officer is Aaron Barber.
Jeffrey Bobet, are you there?
Anybody here on behalf of Fritz, Bouvard, and Giselle?
How you doing? This is their son, Jeffrey Bovee.
Okay. Welcome. We'll have you sworn first.
Okay.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Please state your full name and address for the record.
Jeffrey Bovee, 1155 Northwest 131 Street, Miami, Florida 33168.
And you are here representing your parents?
Yes.
Fritz and Giselle?
Yes, Fritz and Giselle.
They are the owners of the property?
Yes.
All right. Apparently there was a cargo trailer
yes.
stored on the property. Are you aware of that?
Yes. He was giving me the letters. in the beginning, like a couple of months ago, I replied and spoke to someone, and I was told if it wasn't like a commercial cargo trailer, that it may not be a problem. But then we received this other letter here, so I just wanted to join the meeting just to get some clarification on it.
All right. You'll get your clarification from the city official. I believe it's Aaron Barber. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Explain to the property owner what the violation is about and what he needs to do to cure it.
This is the new case, and this is for the cargo trailer that's stored at the property. The notice that was gave them information that they would need to get a variance to have that on the property. Contact Community Planning and Development to obtain a variance. Once you have the variance, then it should be fine to have the cargo trailer there.
Is it possible? Is it possible or likely to get a variance for this trailer?
I believe so. I know if they do reach out to CP&D, they should be able to get the information for that, the specifics.
Okay, and do you have a number or website that I can go on and try to obtain this variance?
Planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning?
Yes, sir. I can go ahead and put their phone number in the chat.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You going to make an application or reach out to planning and zoning right away?
Yes. I'm going to try to do it as soon as I get off this Zoom call.
Okay. Let me ask the code officer or Crystal. Is it acceptable if I table it for 30 days or 60 days?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, as long as you're moving along with the planning and zoning department in a good faith effort to get a variance for your cargo trailer, I'm not going to be imposing any fines or finding you guilty. So, but you do need to move quickly. And if the variance is denied, then you're going to have to remove the cargo trailer.
Okay, and if it is denied, there's no possible way to keep it there? Because he keeps some of his odd job things in there.
If the planning department tells you no, then you're going to have to find another place for it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So with that, let's move on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Item number 23, Luis Quintero, case number CEBPR 2021-00048. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of March 4th, 2022, and fine was set at $700. The officer is Jonathan Lemestre.
Luis Quintero, here on behalf of this property.
Morning, or good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Quintero. Please be sworn.
You raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Please say I do.
I do.
Mr. Quintero, are you the owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
You're aware that you were found guilty and that there's an abatement date of March 4th, 2022 with a fine running of $700 a day?
I was not aware that the process of the permit was started way before March, and it's been one thing after the other in terms of red tape and all the other issues that I've come across. Essentially, as of Monday of this week, I walked into the building department, expecting to pay for my permit, and I finalized it. But it turns out that there was a portion of the application that was missing. So I'm now working to get that all fixed out. But I mean, essentially, you could see on the records that there was an approval of the structural engineer department as of, I want to say, the 15th of this month. So I mean, fairly recent. We're still working on this, and it's still an ongoing matter.
All right, so you're telling me that you've already filed an application for a permit?
Yes, sir.
And that it's already gone through structural?
Yes, structural and electrical have reviewed it and approved it.
And what else needs to happen?
So at this point, I need to get it's a document certifying that one of the contractors is like workman's comp exempt, along with I need to get a licensed electrical person to sign the application, even though this is all part of the subcontractor. So I'm trying to work out the details on that. But it's been, like I said, been one thing after the other. I had to do a FEMA appraisal. I had to do all sorts of things that I wasn't necessarily aware of them at the beginning. But we're working through them.
How long do you think it's going to take to get everything done?
I wish I could say that into the next week, but it might be another 4 weeks. I'm hoping not that long. I really would like to move this forward. This has been long enough, and I would like to get this all,
Is this your private home?
Yes, sir.
You're residing there?
I am, and I'm basically now with less space because everything is kind of moved around. So it's been a challenge and learning experience.
All right, let me hear from the officer. Officer Magistrate.
Yes, good afternoon, Special Magistrate. Yes, this is a returning case in regards to the homeowner doing construction work without a permit. The property owner did apply for a permit on March 15th for construction work. I am checking the system right now. They have applied for the permit, but it hasn't been issued yet. It has been approved. Structurally, the plans were routed to structural, and the plans were routed to flood on July 7th, and they have been approved. But again, the permit hasn't been issued yet for a building without a permit.
Have you been by the house recently?
Yes, sir.
Is there ongoing work?
The work is stopped. This case goes back into July 20th, 2021, where I observed contractors, installing new windows, new doors, and plastering the property without a permit. That's a before picture, and this is after.
Okay, so there's a stop work order?
Yes. Well, I did issue a stop work order back in July, but the contractors continue to do the work.
Okay, based on your examination of the building permit application and the sign-offs from the various agencies, and I'll call on you in a minute, Mr. Quintero. I see your hand. How long do you think or should it take for the permit to be issued?
That would be the building department. That would have to be the building official who could give more of a correct answer. I would be guessing.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Quintero?
I would like to just make a note that at the time that the stop order came in, there was no openings that were enclosed. Essentially, he basically showed up at the time where we were putting up walls and concrete cinder blocks. We were talking about this time about last year, and we couldn't wait for all this entire process that goes around the permit process to kind of, get underway while the front of my home was completely exposed. That's why we did what we had to do in order to secure the property. So I apologize if any of this has sort of been done outside of the scope of, without having the permit. However, everything that's been done has been done on the outside. The inside is still all pending to be enclosed. In case you guys have any questions, any issues, and you guys could see what's happening behind the scenes, behind the walls, so that, to me, it looks everything's been done perfectly fine. So again, ultimately, it will be up to the inspector to kind of determine what the situation is, but I believe everything is been done up to code. So, that's all I have to say.
Not quite, because you don't have a permit.
Well, I'm in the process of getting the permit. It's been a very challenging process.
All right, tell me. I think you said earlier, it might take 4 weeks. What other specialties need to sign off on your building application?
Well, as long as there's nothing else that comes up after I get the workman's comp form and the electrical the licensed electrician to sign the application. I just need to figure that out. The form, easy enough. I'll get that, I think, between today and tomorrow from the contractor. The electrical engineer, I'm trying to understand if I need to get yet another person involved in this, because we're essentially kind of replacing the same stuff that was there. So we're not adding anything new. We're not doing any kind of work that is like wasn't there before. We're just updating it. So I'm trying to kind of figure out that sort of process, and I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks we get this done.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to fine you $700 a day. That's a big chunk of money, and it's going to eat into your cost. I'd rather get you to get your permit, get the work done, but I'm not going to sit here and let you go, ad infinitum, waiting for workers' compensation forms or insurance forms or other meaningless papers. Okay, I need you to be on top of this for the next 30 days, because I'm going to ask that it come back to me in 30 days. And if you don't have a permit in 30 days, based on you dragging your feet, I will impose a $700 a day fine, which is not going to be a good thing for you. So you got 4 weeks to get your act together. Hopefully you will get a permit by then. If you don't have a permit by then, it's going to come back to me at my next hearing, and you're going to be fine if you don't get the work done. When is my next calendar, Madam Clerk?
September 13th.
I'm sorry?
September 13th.
Okay. October? September. Okay. All right, so you got a little bit more than 4 weeks.
It'll be done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It'll be tabled till then.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is item number 32. Mona Terenzi, case number CEBPR 2021-00215, Officer Aaron Barber.
Mona, are you there?
Mona Terenzi, are you there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, we see you. You need to be sworn.
Please raise your right hand, sir.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give?
Yes.
And these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help
Yes.
you God, please I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your full name and address for the record.
David Duranty, the address is 1145 Northwest 123rd Street, North Miami, Florida, 33168.
You said it's Dave?
David Duranty, correct. Mona Duranty is my mother. I'm calling on her behalf.
Okay. All right, so you're Dave, the son.
Correct.
Do you understand that you've been charged with having some work done, windows and doors, stucco, a carport, patio, roof, concrete walkways, doing all that work without a permit?
Yes, yes, sir.
And you understand that, and that you need to go to the city and get a permit to legalize all of that work, correct?
Correct. I've already done it.
You've already done what?
I've got the permits. I have the process numbers. No,
Okay.
I had the
Process numbers is not a permit.
Oh, okay. So I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have plans?
The plans?
Yeah.
I have the architect that's doing that now.
Okay. How much time do you need to complete the process?
I'll have everything ready in 90 days. Everything will be set.
You think so?
I know so.
All right. Let me hear from the city.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. Yeah, there were 4 separate issues noted in this violation. Currently, the property owner does have a pending permit after the fact for the carport, after the fact for the driveway, walkway pending. after the fact for the windows and doors pending permits. But as of the final recheck and as of this morning, there were no applications made for the stucco. So the stucco is still, they still need to get the apply for and get the after the fact permit for the stucco, and everything else, the other 3 items are pending.
When you
Permits
say pending, they've been processed, but the permit themselves have not been issued.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They just have not been issued as of this date. But they do need a
Okay.
permit. They need the same process for the stucco.
Okay, and this is work that has already been done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's just a question of legalizing it after the fact?
Yes, sir. After the fact permits for all 4 issues.
Okay. All right, how much time do you think you need again?
90 days.
Is that acceptable to the city?
I do know that it was quite a bit of work that was done at the property. The violation was opened in December of 2021. So this is an older violation. But whatever the magistrate
Ask for an
decides.
adjudication.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, definitely.
I will adjudicate the case. I'm just wondering if 90 days is the right number, or maybe we can do it in less, maybe 45 days, 60 days.
Yeah, we would prefer to, probably shorten and just to kind of, and see where things kind of land. Just for reference off topic, well, not off topic, but did the clerk provide you with the abatement dates, magistrate? Because 30.
Yes, she did. Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, yeah, I think that we had to make some revisions here operationally. So there's some, instead of, we needed to get away from the 30 and 90 and 60 just for operational purposes, and we provided you some hard dates to go by. So
when is the closest abatement date to 60 days?
The clerk can clarify that if you have it, please.
That's October 7th.
October 7th?
Yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists, proper notice having been given, I find in favor of the city. Enter adjudication and set a compliance date of October 7th. In the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated. So, sir, you have until October 7th, after which time, if you don't have the permits or everything, you'll start accruing fines. So I think that's a fair response to your request, and I hope to see you, well, hope not to see you, and that you finish your work promptly and efficiently and within budget. Okay, thank you, sir. Next case.
Thank you.
All right.
Item number 34, Powerhouse Marina Inc., case number CEGMP 2021-0042. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022. Fine was set at $1,000 plus $100 cost assessment. And the officer is Jose Perez.
I have, I think, several people here on behalf of this property.
Can I have the number again, please?
34.
Okay.
Dan Atkins, are you there? June O, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, this is Dan Atkins, and June is here, but we are not the owners of the property. We're just monitoring this.
Okay, so is there anyone here on behalf of the property? I have a, I guess June, you said June O is not
No,
an owner either?
June and I are not the owners of the property. We're potential buyers of the property. We're here monitoring, so there should be somebody from the marina on the call.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mute you, sir, and remove you from the.
I'm gonna stop the video and be quiet.
Thank you. Is there anybody here on behalf of this item?
18 call Dan.
I'm sorry?
Hello,
Dan
can you hear-
Atkins, are you here on behalf of this property?
No, he's the buyer.
Oh, that's the same guy, okay.
All right.
All right, it looks like there's nobody here on behalf of the
Are you on this? Yeah, yes, would you tell them I'm here, but they're not picking me?
Okay, hang on.
Crystal, they said he said we're not picking him.
Who is him?
Dave Marcus is on the line. He is the owner. He says he's on the line.
I'm watching everything.
I don't have him registered here. If he's on, you can enable your video.
I think there's another Dan Atkins there, and I think that may be him.
That's right.
Everyone that's on the call has access to turn on their video. So if you are here on behalf of this property.
Please.
Okay, there I am.
There you go.
They have me under you, Dan. I don't know why. Okay.
Dan, David, you had to send your video on. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone else that's not here on behalf, if you are a buyer or a spectator, please mute your devices. Thank you.
Okay, so the Dan Atkins that I'm looking at right now on the video is the owner of the property, correct?
My name is David Marcus.
Oh, you're David. What?
Can you rename yourself? You're I guess someone that registered logged you or registered under some other name. I guess that's the confusion.
My office manager did all this. Maybe she screwed up. I have no idea, but here I am.
All right, that's fine.
And your last name, sir?
Marcus, Marcus.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please say I do.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus, please state your full name and address for the record.
My name is David Marcus. It's 13255 Biscayne Boulevard, North Miami, 33181.
Are you a principal of Powerhouse Marina, Inc.?
Yes.
What position do you hold?
I'm the owner.
You're the president?
Yes.
Okay. You've been previously cited and found guilty for some necessary repairs, replacement of the dock at the property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the fine was set at $1,000 plus a cost assessment fee of $100. What's the situation like right now?
My situation is the most frustrating thing you can imagine. I've been trying to get this done since last April. I'm being held up by Durham and by Florida Environmental. They have everything that they asked for. My problem with them is they keep changing people and we keep having to chase them down. We have a string of emails that would drive you crazy. I don't know what else to do. When we speak to code enforcement at Durham, he says that we're responsible for them not answering us. I've never heard of anything like that, but that's what they tell us. And we've been contacting them on the average of once every 10 days since, I don't know, all year. So this has been going on a year and a half trying to get a permit. They won't let me touch anything. We have a dangerous situation here and we're not allowed to touch it. We had a guy come on, I put some poles because it was super dangerous. They wanted to give me a hard time for safety reasons. I don't know what to do. I absolutely am frustrated. Now they sent the letter to the, they wanted some information. So we had the hydrographic survey team. They answered them. We're still waiting for a reply from them. The last email, when was the last email? My secretary is the one, and she's not here today. It was about a week ago, a week and a half ago, asking them what is the status. We're constantly asking them what the status is, and we don't really get an answer. So I'm lost. I really don't know what to do. If I was able to fix this, it would have been done over a year ago. I'm not allowed.
You don't know why Durham is holding up the permit?
Durham cannot give the permit until environmental gives me the pass. Environmental won't give me the lease until Durham approves it. Durham doesn't want to do it till I get the lease. It's a catch-22. So Durham said, okay, we will go ahead and approve everything based on the lease. Once you get the lease, we'll go put the stamp on it. The environmental is not getting their act together. They asked for surveys, we sent them. We sent them architectural drawings. We sent them hydrographic survey. I don't know what's left.
What do you mean by a lease?
It's a submerged land lease.
Is that with the state?
With the state. That's what I need. So Durham will approve it, so then I can go to you, and so everybody will be on the same page, and they will allow us to do this. The contractor has been working on this. I gave him a $20,000 deposit last April of 21. This is how long this has been going on.
Is there anyone from the city that can, aside from the code officer, that can help the property owner through the very complicated Durham process? Mr. Building Official, can you comment?
Yeah, I would need to set an appointment. I can put my email on here. We could try to set an appointment. I wasn't listening to the entire conversation. I don't know. Is this a seawall or something related to?
It's a dock.
There are a set of docks.
So okay, yeah, I would have to. Okay, this is the marina.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I would have to meet, Mr. Marcus. I would have to meet with you to see exactly, what's the issue, and we can hopefully send an email. Okay, I'm familiar with the property there.
Well, anytime you want, let me know. I'll have everything ready for you, because my girl only comes on Saturdays now, because we're in the middle of a transition. Oh, a nice picture of me. Anyway, we're in the middle of a transition. So I've been trying to work to get this accomplished for the buyers. And it's frustrating.
I believe we met before.
Yes, we have. You were here at the office. I think we showed you everything, and I think and you're a great guy. You want to help. I don't know how, but if there's anything you can do, believe me.
Well, if the city can help, wonderful. If the city cannot help, then you may need to hire an attorney or do whatever you need to do. But the city cannot allow a dangerous situation to exist at a waterfront property. Let me hear from, is it Officer Perez? Tell me the condition of the dock and whether it needs to be protected from potential public safety issues, or what can be done in the meantime while Durham and the state get their act together.
Officer Perez of the City of Miami. Today we're hearing a case in regards to the property at 13255 Biscayne Boulevard. This case specifically in regards to the dock. This came before you previously with a companion case for a piece of the dock that actually dislocated from the property and floated, almost got to the bay until Marine Patrol and myself actually brought it back. That was adjudicated and a fine was set for that. For this violation is specifically for the repairs for the dock. As it stands, the dock appears to be in a very unsafe condition. Additionally to that, based off the permit application with the city, the application was submitted on October 29th, 2021. On November 22nd, 2021, the zoning department denied the application with the city. The zoning department cited that the dock is non-conforming and cannot be replaced as proposed. As per the city's LDR, Land Development Regulations, Article 5-602B, it projects too much into the waterway. I'll refer from reading the entirety of it because he cites the entire section. However, that plan was never rectified, nor any corrections were made and submitted to the city. I will also point out that it was denied on November 23rd, 2021 by the building department in regards to the structural. And here it said, provide special inspection form for piles that were installed or piles installation. That was never rectified either. So at this point in time, while yes, he is dealing with there is pending items with the city of North Miami that have been ignored and have not been addressed. I just want to point that out.
I'm told not to touch anything, but you want it corrected. So I'm in the catch-22. What if I just fixed the docks and dealt with the problems afterwards? What would that be? I get it after the deal permit, because this is absolutely nuts. I'm willing to spend the money. I'm willing to get it done. But the docks have been here since I bought the place, and I bought the place in '94. So I don't know why they're saying it extends too far out. It's been like that ever since I've owned it. Now it's also like the problems keep coming up when I didn't have them until I needed to do the repair.
Well,
now that I'm doing the repair, all the problems are gone.
Mr. Marcus, we're not going to resolve the zoning issues at this meeting. I don't know what the zoning issues are. Maybe the zoning law changed, and since your renovation exceeds 50% of the value of the dock, maybe you need to comply with new regulations. I don't know, and I can't resolve those issues. But here we are, after you've already been found guilty. When the matter first came up back in September of 21, and we're putting it all on Durham, and I'm hearing now from the code officer that you still have issues with the city. So
but I can't do anything with the city. There's nothing I can do. I've been told by Durham I cannot touch anything. And you want me to do corrections for the city, and I got Durham on my case. So you guys got to all get together and tell me what I'm allowed to do. Because if I'm in trouble with you, then I'm not in trouble with them. If I'm in trouble with them, then I'm not in trouble with you. So no matter what I do, I'm getting shit on.
All right, Mr. Perez, what should he do?
My recommendation is to speak with the zoning director or interim director, Mr. Cook, because he has specific comments on here in regards to the proposed plan that was submitted that was denied. If that's not resolved, the permit's never going to be issued. I just want to point out the city of North Miami and Durham are two separate entities, and you must suffice the city's requirements as well as Durham requirements, which are separate.
So if I may, Magistrate, the director of zoning is out on vacation, and as such, it sounds like, if there's already been an adjudication entered, the city, I think, is okay with providing for some additional time for the marina owner to seek to resolve the issue. So in your discretion, if you see 30 days fit, 60 days fit, we're fine with that. It appears as though he's trying to sell the property.
I understand the frustration with Durham and the state. It's a huge bureaucracy, but I also understand that from what Officer Perez is telling me, that the city will never approve the proposed plans because they are not in compliance with zoning. So until and unless the zoning department signs off on a set of plans, it's a waste of time to take him to Durham, because Durham, even if Durham approves them, the city will not. So I think you need to start with zoning, get your act together with the city first, and then go back to Durham and file amended drawings so that so that Durham considers the plans that will be acceptable to the city. Ultimately, the city can tell you no. Even if Durham approves them, the city can tell you no. So I will defer. I will defer this item. Okay, I'm not going to keep the fines running, but I will. And I understand your frustration, but it seems like, you know, one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, and I think you need to get everybody together, including the building official who graciously offered to help, and also the zoning director. The three of you in the same room, because we're dealing with a very important property in the city, which is currently a health hazard, and it really needs to be resolved. And from what I understand, you got potential buyers out there who are willing to come in with money and buy you out. They're not going to buy you out while all these issues are pending. Got me?
No, that has nothing to do with it. The deal's set. It's already gone through due diligence. The deal is going down no matter what, but that's beside the point. I'm still trying to fix this. And one of the guys are on watching all this, and I'm going to get with him afterwards, and we're going to make a plan of how to go forward with this. But I'm not worried about the sale. The sale is immaterial because it's happened. Okay, so I will handle the sale, and I will get with them. And Mark, do you want to contact me, or do you want me to contact you?
You can contact me. If I don't pick up, just feel free to send me a text. I believe you still have my number there.
Well, give it to me. Deborah has it, so give it to me.
Okay, and it's on the chat. I'll put it on the chat there.
Yeah, and give him the contact information for the zoning and planning and zoning director.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay.
All right, so we'll table this for 30. Let's do 60.
Could I make a recommendation for the tabling? Since you're familiar with the case, would it be okay if we table it for you to hear it again?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's an operational thing, but either way, I was going to mention that Officer Perez, you make sure that zoning is here for the next call, so that we don't have to table and we can address it.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing will be approved until zoning signs off on it.
No, I understand that. Mark, did you put your phone number? I don't see your phone number in the chat.
All right, sir, we'll take care of those matters after. If it's okay, Magistrate, we'll move on to the next case.
Thank you. Next case.
Item number 35, RK San Souci Plaza LLC, case number FYVRR 202000051. This case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of December 14, 2021, and the fine was set at $500. And the officer is Gary Beswick.
Anybody here on behalf of the owner?
Yes, there's a
Good afternoon. Andrew Zadar here of RK Centers on behalf of the owner.
The owner is RK San Souci Plaza.
Yeah, that's the LLC that owns it. RK Centers is the management company.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth and
I'm sorry, Gary, can you mute, please? There's excessive background noise.
Too many people talking.
I do.
All right. What's your relationship to the property?
We are the property owner.
Okay. And you were fined and found guilty for failing to provide a 40-year building recertification on the property. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so where are we in terms of that recertification?
So good news, there's been a lot of back and forth. I know Building Inspector Gene is aware of this. He's been working with us. We had completed the report. One of the items that came up on the illumination report was we failed to meet the standards. So we had to go redo the parking lot lighting, pull up electrical permit that included 7 parking lot poles, underground wiring, pretty extensive amount of work. Happy to say that work has been completed. The permit has been closed out. And as of yesterday or this morning, the completed report with the updated illumination letter in compliance has been delivered to the city.
All right. Now, let me understand what you're saying. The report has been completed. the work itself that is being recommended in the report has not been done yet, correct?
No, the work is done. So we couldn't complete the report until we completed the necessary lighting upgrades in order to meet the requirements.
So you did the work, and so the 40-year recertification report is ready for filing.
It should actually be at the city as we speak, if not person in the lobby. I received the final compliance letter on Tuesday of this week.
Okay, so let me hear from the city.
Good afternoon, Gary Beswick for the city of North Miami. I haven't received the report he's referencing. I haven't got it as yet.
Okay.
All right.
So to cover right now, what happens? He said the person is in the lobby.
I'm guessing they're in the lobby. It was picked up from my office. It's Rosalind Yukon, who's our permit expediter, who Gary, I know you've worked with on our behalf, as well as building official Gene has worked with as well.
All right. Let me move this case to the end of the agenda.
Okay.
And we'll see if by then we have at least a copy of the first page, so we know that it was a report.
I'm calling her now, actually. Okay, I'll hang tight in the background then.
Okay, all right. So we'll defer this case until the end.
If she does make it, can I raise my hand and just let you guys know, so I'm not stuck waiting till the very end?
Yeah. Well, let the building official, let the building officer know so that we can close the case. So that we can close the case.
Okay, thank you. Are you on your way to North Miami with the stuff for the 40-year?
All right, next.
Marie Exame, what case are you here for?
I have a Marie Exum. Are you here to be, do you have does any of the code officers familiar with any of the names here? Marie Exum, what property are you here on behalf of?
I'm familiar with that property, and she's not on, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, she's not on the agenda.
What's the address, please? Marie Exum, can you acknowledge what property address you're here on behalf of? Marie Exum, I've given you permission to speak. Can you acknowledge what property you're here on behalf of? Emmanuel Valise, what property are you here on behalf of? Last name Shir Mohammed, what property are you here on behalf of?
Shir Mohammed case was postponed to September hearing. I did notify him to let him know that he doesn't need to be
Shir
here.
Mohammed, your case has been postponed to the September hearing, so you do not need to be here today. Marie Exum, please advise what property you're here on behalf of. I see your hand raised. You just can speak.
Hello.
What property are you here on behalf of?
Hi, my name is Marvin Exume. I'm the son of Marie Exume, and I'm here on the behalf of property 1131 Northwest 122nd Street, North Miami, Florida 33168.
Code officer, can you confirm whether this property is on the agenda?
They're not on the agenda. This property is not on the agenda.
We apologize for the inconvenience. Your property is not on the agenda today.
Okay. Is there another Zoom?
The officer is going to follow up with you via the chat. If you can.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Thank you.
Shir Mohammed, your case has been postponed. Whoever the code officer is on that item, please communicate with him via the chat.
Thank you.
What's your property address, sir? What's your property address, sir? Emmanuel?
Yes.
Pour qui adresse vous venez aujourd'hui?
On vient l'adresse 131 Nord-Ouest 7e Avenue.
13120 Northwest 7th Avenue.
Yes.
Whose case is this?
This is my case, Crystal. I'm here.
Is that an item on the agenda?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
P&G Family Bakery.
Okay. Peggy, can you call the case?
Is it under the property owner's name?
I'm
think it's
showing
case
here
number
131. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I thought someone was saying something. It's 13100 Sunrise Plaza LLC.
What number, Shannon?
4.
4 and 5. Okay. All right. Item number 4 and 5.
Okay.
Item number 4 and 5, 13100 Sunrise Plaza LLC. Case number CEFLR 20210087. Previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022. Fine was set at $250 plus $100 cost assessment. And for item number 5, case number CEZCU 2021000135 was previously found guilty as well with an abatement date of July 8. Fine set at $250 plus $100 cost assessment. And Shannon Sanders is the officer. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these proceedings shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God as I do?
Est-ce que vous jurez solennellement que tout témoignage ou parle pendant la procédure ça, c'est la vérité, rien d'autre que vérité, et que mon Dieu accompagne vous et dit oui ou d'accord, c'est d'accord?
Oui.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Baluz, please state your full name, address, and your connection to the property.
Oh, Emmanuel. Okay.
Monsieur Vallée, s'il vous plaît, dis-nous nom complet avec adresse et puis qui connexion avec propriétaire.
Emmanuel Valéris, 131 Nord-Est, 7e Avenue, 33 168.
33 000?
168.
Merci. Et qui relation avec propriétaire?
Monsieur Maladie, propriétaire.
All right, the name is Emmanuel Valerius. The address is 13120 Northwest 7th Avenue, 33168. I'm the property manager.
Are you the property manager for Sunrise Plaza or for TJ Family Bakery?
For TJ.
For TJ.
So you're not the owner.
I am women.
Yes,
He's the owner of the business, magistrate. He's the business owner, not the property owner.
So I understand. I just want to make sure that we have the right party in front of us. You've been found guilty for failing to have a business tax receipt or a BTR on your business. You understand that?
Alors, vous trouvez coupable du fait que vous pas gagné un reçu pour tax business et pour business. Est-ce que vous comprenez ça?
Oui.
Yes.
How come you don't have a business tax receipt?
Comment on fait pas gagner un reçu pour tax business là?
Monsieur, problème qui arrive, c'est affaire de corona. Parce que mon pas a fait papier. On y a après licence moi venir respirer. Chaque mois aller notre ami c'est l'autre jour bon l'autre jour. C'est ça que fait bagarre. Deuxième fois officier a venu côté il t'a expliqué mon problème. Il dit femme gagne quand même. Il vient côté deux fois déjà. Excusez-moi pas trop bon go grippe. Officier avait devant deux fois déjà. Il dit faut me faire OK, le mon fait, qu'on apprend au contacteur même, après, il prend retard dans le bagage. Il prend retard, qu'on a même matériel et officier à tenir, il faut aller notre ami pour m'a faire bagage parce que il est pour bien bagage. Nous connaissons bien tort dans ça m'a fait. C'est pas faute à officier, c'est travail à faire. Okay.
All right. Well, here's what happened. You know, with the coronavirus, I couldn't do the papers, and then my license got expired, and I went to Miami, but every time I go, they kept on rescheduling, asking me to come on a different day. And then I saw the officer came twice and said that I had to do what needed to be done. And I got a contractor who delayed things, and you know, the officer called in, and I had to go to the North Miami to do everything. And I know I'm wrong on this. It's not the officer's fault.
All right, let me turn over to the officer because I suspect that the problem may not be the BTR. The problem may be the certificate of use, which is the next case, which we should hear together. So let's hear both cases together since they're so related, and we'll move from there.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer, and yes, you're correct. It's a little more detailed than what he's stating. Long story short, when COVID first hit, the city was offering a little monies to help some of the business owners who were in need of assistance during when COVID first hit and everything. Long story short, they gave me a list of businesses who was asking for assistance to make sure that they were in good standing. Long story short, they were not in good standing. I've been speaking with this property owner since, I have to say, since COVID hit, and gave quite a few courtesies, gave a little, if not a lot, of hand holding, have had detailed conversations. He has had a problem with his grease trap. He has submitted an application. It does show that the permit application is ready. I spoke with the property owner in detail 2 weeks ago and explained to him he needs to come to the city to get the permit for the grease trap so that he can move forward with finishing his process for the CU application, because, you know, as you already stated, you know, they're not going to give him the CU without having the grease trap and everything in order. I was very, you know, frustrated to speak to the property owner or business owner this morning to hear that the application still sitting in the city, still hasn't been picked up. You know, I've almost begged him to, you know, I don't know.
And can you allow the interpreter to interpret, please?
And I'm sorry, just for confirmation, what did you say was ready and was at the office?
His permit for the grease trap. He had to submit an application for the grease trap.
Thank you. Donc, normalement, ça qui est à parler, c'est par rapport à plus de détails. Alors, et ça qu'on dit en tigeant plus vague, gain plus de détails que ça, parce que normalement, et alors, il y a deux dossiers là. On a parlé de tous les deux ensemble. Il y a un certificat d'utilisation plus BTR là. Donc, puisque yo presque connecté, on a parlé de tous les deux. Donc, dans le moment que COVID l'a frappé, donc, il y a un COB que il était décidé de bloquer pour capable aider propriétaires business et pour business qui en bon terme qui est tout à fait en forme, et donc il était moins en liste dans liste bon là qu'on y allait aller, et à la fin business n'a pas vraiment et en bon terme parce que tu gagné un problème avec attrape graisse là, donc qui c'est ça dans cuisine pour empêcher graisse aller, donc alors depuis le commencement on était en contact avec vous et on t'a ba information en détail, donc à la fin. Et je dis encore, je m'ai parlé avec vous et je m'ai frustré de m'apprendre que jusqu'à présent, il y a un permis qui cite dans le bureau qui propose de me sortir. Parce que permis, et t'ai expliqué que permis pour réparer à trappe graisse là, dans la cuisine, c'est prêt déjà. Et dans le bureau, ou bien pour le prendre pour finir régler ça, et puis pour être capable continuer avec l'autre processus pour certificat d'utilisation. Donc, permis, ça, on va pas jamais aller prendre pour gérer ça.
Oui, matin, je suis dans le bureau matin. Lem fin pa lave, ma ale nan bureau a. Kon ya, mde gen papier ça, contracteur moi pas signé, kon a mwele contracteur lan, y a vinn signer papier a, de me si de vle, m'po lave nan site a pour yo bon permis. Ma ale c'est un papier bon nan site a. Ouais, tout ça c'est ingénieur qui fait. Ouais, m'gen tout papier nan même. Avant?
Well, I went to the office this morning, and after I spoke with you, I went to the office, but I have this paper that was not signed by the contractor, and so I called them. They are coming tomorrow to sign it. All these papers I have here, they were done by the engineer, and so I'm just waiting for them to come and sign so I can go back to the office.
Going to direct the question to the code officer or anyone else who can answer it, but what seems to be the problem with the grease trap?
I could look at the comments here. It really just says that he needed to install a new grease trap. It says that the grease trap was damaged and he needed to install a new one.
Okay, and he needs a contractor for that?
I'm showing here.
Yeah,
I'm showing here that he keeps saying he has an application and they need to sign something, but it shows here that he has an application on file and that is ready to be picked up. I mean, I gave him a gentleman translated for me last week. I gave him the permit number. I told him if he needed any help, I'll walk him over there myself Thursday and Friday. I'm not understanding, what the applications are in hand. He's still saying he needs to be signed.
Sorry.
Matin, ma ale nan site ya, son application yo bon. Mais les applications bon matin nan site ya. Ma ale nan building département. Ma ale nan building département yo bon papier, ouais. Mais papier bon nan.
I went to the city this morning, the building department, and they gave me an application, and these are the papers they gave me this morning when I went there.
What is that application for?
Pour qui sa application ça est?
Yo dit pour l'application pour venir avec.
I don't know. They told me to fill it out and bring it back.
Yeah.
Shanna, are we saying that the permit is ready for him to pick up? Is that what we're saying?
I'm showing here, and as I explained to him, it's showing that the permit is ready to be picked up. It's been ready since June 22nd.
Why are we here then?
He's failing to pick up the permit. He's still, saying that he has to fill out an application. I
do.
Monsieur, gen yon permis que yo te fait pour te appliquer déjà qui prend dans bureau pour t'al chercher que pas jamais chercher. Et c'est les mêmes ou gen pour al prendre et puis pour capable faire travail à faire dans ramassage graisse là.
We're here, Magistrate, because remember this is a BTR and a CU case, so the grease trap has prevented him from getting those documents. I guess what she's saying is that the permit is ready. Mark, are you there? Can we just have him? He looks like he's at his house. If he comes to the city, can you just have him interpreter come to the city and the building department will assist him from here?
Eh bien,
I understand. Sir, 1 second. I'm not suggesting that the city dropped the ball in any way. I'm suggesting that if he already has the permit that was hindering his ability to get a BTR and a certificate of use, what's he waiting for? He's got what he needs. All he has to do is come in with a check and pay.
And that's what I've explained that to him 4 times. I'm not understanding. I don't know what his conversation is when he's coming to the city, why he has another application on file. He needs to just pick up the application that's ready, pick up the permit that's ready. It specifically says he's been emailed as well, notifying him that it's ready to be picked up. I explained it to him. So again, I don't know what this new application is for.
I go to city. I went to
the city, but they just gave me an application.
Well, you don't need an application, sir. All you need to do is pick up the permit.
Mais on pas besoin d'application, monsieur. L'on aller, c'est dire que vous juste besoin, vous venez chercher un permis.
Ok, moi, de qui département mal?
Which department do I have to go to?
Building department.
Département construction. The building.
Département construction. The building, okay. This morning I go to department.
And bring your checkbook.
Et puis marcher avec chèque.
I can check.
With a check?
Okay.
You need to pay for the business tax receipt and the certificate of use.
Parce que leur fin va ou bien pour payer pour reçu business tax avec certificat d'utilisation.
Ok. Ok, on va dans city après l'officier dans city
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll go to the
for 30 days, magistrate, if that's okay with you.
We'll table it.
I'm sorry, what do I need to tell him now?
We're going to give
Tell
him 30
him that
days.
we're going to postpone the case for 30 days.
N'a pas avancé dossier là et de 30 jours. Donc, on gagne 30 jours pour régler ça.
Yeah, m'a fait ça parce que je retire tête dans bagarre comme ça.
Yes, I'll do that because I want to get myself out of this situation.
Yeah. Thank you, officier. Okay.
Thank you, officer.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Next
Pas de problème.
case.
Bonjour.
I think at this time, we don't have anyone else present, so all the other items on the agenda will be heard without representation. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew Zadar, Arcade Plaza.
Yes, let's hear. Do we have the report or not?
I spoke to Andrew not too long ago. They tried to submit the report this morning, but on the structural portion, all the sheets need to be signed and sealed by the engineer. So he's requesting a 30-day to try to a 30-day extension.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll grant the extension because I'm on the representation that it's already completed. It's just a matter of signatures, and this is the 40-year recertification we're talking about.
Correct.
Okay, so I believe him. I think it's already done. So if it's not done, then you bring it back to me, and then we'll deal with it accordingly.
Okay.
But hopefully it'll be done by the end of the day, if not tomorrow.
Yeah, we should have it wrapped up. I've already spoke to the engineer. He's providing the information now.
Okay, Mr. Zeider, I'm putting my trust on you, so please
I
bring
will.
it in. Bring it in within the next couple of days.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Next one.
So the interpreter should be excused at this time. Thank you.
Okay.
1 second, magistrate. Item number 3, 12801 West Dixie Highway LLC, case number CEGAP 2022-000021, Officer Christopher Colson.
All right, this is about a repeat offender involving a dumpster.
Yes, it is.
Okay, briefly, I've read the report. What's the status of it?
Good afternoon, Officer Colson, City of North Miami, Code Compliance. It's a repeat offender case, new case, but a repeat offender case. I don't know when it won't come out. Right now, the status is they've cleaned it up some, but it still looks bad over there. So we're asking that we just increase the fines on it and see if we can just get them to do better. Go a little bit higher on the fines with this one.
What is the fine schedule say regarding a repeat offender for dumpster violation?
Up to $5,000, not to share your discretion.
Okay, so the city doesn't have a fine schedule?
Not for the magistrate. It's up to $5,000 on a repeat violation.
Okay, I'm gonna find the violator in this case responsible for a repeat offense I believe I've seen this dumpster before. It's definitely an eyesore and a safety hazard. So I'm going to impose a $5,000 fine based on the gravity of the situation.
Magistrate, is this a one-time fine?
For now, if it's not resolved, then bring it back to me at the next meeting, and we will then treat it accordingly, and we'll issue daily fines. But as of right now, I think the $5,000 fine should get their attention.
It'd be a one-time fine. If there's a new violation, the officer should open a new case and bring it again.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna call item number 19, Gina A. Vargas, Juliet D. Manette, case number RCCOR 2019-0041. Case was previously found guilty with an abatement date of February 4th, 2021. Fine set at $250 plus a $100 cost assessment, and the officer is Gary Beswick.
Is this the case on Northwest 2nd Avenue?
Yes, 13560 Northwest 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, I look at an email. They sent me and Crystal an email stated that they're out of the country. You saw the email, Crystal?
If it wasn't within the time that we provide to extend cases, they would have needed to have submitted a formal extension request within the time frame. So I didn't acknowledge it.
Okay.
What is the city requesting?
You can go ahead and table it because they claim they sent an email claim they're out of the country. They just saw it, the notice. Send an email.
So what do you want me to do?
You can table it.
Table it?
Yes.
Okay, table. Bring it back at the next meeting.
Item number 24, Margaret Garcia, case number MHBL 2020-0073, previously found guilty within abatement date of November 10th, 2021. Fine set at $500. Gary Beswick is the officer.
Good afternoon, Special Magistrate. This is Gary Beswick. The property owner basically haven't been doing what they're supposed to do to obtain a required permit. They've been dragging their feet. So at this point, I'm asking you to make the fine run.
All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer and the evidence presented depicting that the property has been out of compliance since the abatement date, I find in favor of the city, hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $500 and assess costs in favor of the city. The said fine shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance.
Thank you.
Item number 12320 Northeast 4th Court, LLC. And item number 2 is the same property owner as well. Case number CEFOB 2022-00121. And item number 2, case number CEGCU 2022-00265. Officer is Jonathan Lemestre.
Good afternoon, Special Magistrate.
Yes, this is, we're going to take the two of them together, business tax receipt and certificate of use on the same property, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, present.
Good afternoon, Special Magistrate. Yes, this case is in regards to the business, the property owner not having their business tax receipt and their certificate of use. The business tax receipt, there's nothing on file. And the certificate of use, they are only 1 year behind on their certificate of use. And no compliance as of the final reinspection date.
And you have service?
Absolutely, on January 31st.
Have you spoken to the owner?
Honestly, sir, I can't recall. I have so many cases, I don't recall.
Okay. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
And that's as to each one. Separate orders on 1 and 2. So the fact that they may have if they get a certificate of use, great, but that doesn't mean that they're home free on the BTR. So they have to get them both.
No. Item number 9 and item number, Item number 9 through 12. Anita Pools Garcia and Officer Gennaro Murillo. Case number for item number 9 is CEBPR 2022-00474. Case number for item number 10, CEBPR 2022-00475. Case number for item number 11, CEBPR 2022-00476. And case number for item number 12, CEBPR 2022-00477.
Good afternoon, Officer Murillo from City of North Miami. Well, on March 31st, violation was observed while patrolling for the address of 625 Northeast 135th Street. They were cited for not obtaining permits for installing windows and door, stucco and concrete work done at the property. There was a roof repair, more specifically the fascia boards, and also there was a concrete rear in the rear of the property, built structure in the rear of the property. There was no compliance on my inspection date. Also, as my final inspection, there was no permit and no application made for all these violations.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're looking at case 9, case 10, 11, and 12.
That is correct.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Separate violations, same property.
Yes, sir.
As to each violation, the same order will apply. We'll treat each violation separately, but the orders will be the different orders, but essentially they'll say the same thing. And this has not been previously adjudicated, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist, that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city and enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days as to each violation. And in the event of non-compliance, there will be a daily fine of, as to each violation, $250 until the violations are abated. Okay? Madam Clerk, do you understand my ruling?
Yes, got it.
Got it. Thank you.
Item number 15, Eddie Elvire and wife Leslie. Case number CEBPR 2022-00467, Officer Gennaro Murillo.
This is number 15.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, one second.
Eddie Elvire, wife Leslie, 14280 Northeast 10th Avenue. Failing to obtain an after-the-fact building permit for wooden fence.
So Officer Murillo, City of North Miami, on March 30, a violation was observed while patrolling to the property to 14280 Northeast 10 Ave. There was no compliance as my final inspection on July 8th. There was no permit, no application made. Also, I observed on my final reinspection that they also removed a chain link fence that was before when I observed the violation. And the wooden chain was also changed from its original position.
Okay, based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist, proper notice has been given. I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $250 until the violation is abated.
Item number 20, Isaac Raz, case number CEBPR 2022-00494, Officer Perez.
Jose, unmute.
Officer Perez of the City of Miami. Today we're hearing the case in regards to the property at 2095 Keystone Boulevard. This case in regards to permits that were not obtained before excavation was done at the property. They have since pretty much done a driveway. The property was posted, and that was on April 12th, 2022. It was also sent via certified mail. For the hearing, it was posted on June 23rd, 2022, and it was sent via certified mail on June 24th, 2022. As of my final reinspection, they have applied for paving permits. However, both permits were denied. One is for paving, and the other one was for, one second. Oh, geez. The other permit was for a concrete slab at the patio on the existing concrete. Both permits have been denied, as evident by the screenshots, and at this point in time, the city is seeking an adjudication and a daily fine.
The excavation that you're talking about is that picture there. Is that all from the driveway?
That is correct, yes.
Nothing from inside the house?
Correct.
Okay. And for that, they needed an excavation permit, a demolition permit? What kind of permit?
So they had the intent of making the driveway and the concrete slab, and that's where they started with that. So once they began that work, I went ahead and I posted the property with stop work order until they did obtain said permit, and they applied for it. It was denied, however.
Do you know why?
It might have been for setback. I see, yeah, they were both denied for zoning, so it might have been the setback regulations.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist and the proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city. Enter an adjudication and set an abatement date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
Item number 21, Kelly Edge, case number CEBPR 2022-00372. The officer is Aaron Barber.
Good afternoon, Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This is a new case, property address 740 Northwest 135th Street, building without a permit. This was for a white metal panel fence that was installed without permits. Notice was posted and mailed certified, and as of the final recheck date, July 8th, 2022, there has been no compliance.
Show me that fence again, please. Where is that fence? Okay. Okay, is that all around the house?
It's around the rear of the property, yes, sir. And I checked this morning, and there were still no applications as of this morning for permits.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violations still exist and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city entering adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated.
Thank you.
Item number 22, Keystone Point 2020 LLC, case number CEBPR 2022-005359, previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022, fine set at $250 plus $100 cost assessment. Officer Perez.
Officer Perez with the City of North Miami. Today we're hearing the case in regards to the property at 12920 Aurelia Road. This is in regards to a boat lift that was installed at the property without permits. They were previously found guilty, as mentioned. As of my final reinspection date, no permits have been applied for and or obtained. At this point in time, the city is seeking for the fines to move forward. The property was sent via certified mail and posted. The property was posted on Thursday, June 23rd, and it was sent via certified mail on June 24th.
Get a closer picture of that lift? Can you make it a little larger? Okay. Wouldn't they also have to get Durham permits for that?
For the pole lift, I'm not entirely sure. It may be a requirement. However, I don't necessarily deal with that specifically.
Okay. This house is on what, Keystone Point?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and other evidence presented that the property has been out of compliance since the, what was the date of compliance? Since July 8th. I find in favor of the city and I hereby ratify the fines accrued to date and assess costs in favor of the city. The said fines shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance.
Item number 25, Maria Elena Acevedo in H, case number CEBPR 2022-00367, previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022, fine set at $150 plus $100 cost assessment. Officer Barber.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. As noted, this case has been previously adjudicated. White metal panel fence installed without permits. As of the final recheck date, July 8th, there was no compliance, no applications made. I checked again this morning and there were still no applications made. Notice was mailed and posted, mailed certified. And
okay, am I allowed to increase the fine? Madam City Attorney?
1 second, let me put my screen, sorry. You can increase the fine, Your Honor. It's at your discretion.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess the fine that was previously set of $150 through July 8th. And as of July 8th, I'm going to increase the fines to $250. So based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the property has been out of compliance since July 8th, I find in favor of the city, hereby ratify the fines accrued to date from July 8th at $150, and hereafter the fine shall increase to $250, and also assess costs on behalf of the city. The fines shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance. Maybe that will get their attention.
thank you.
Item number 26, Maria Ojito, case number CEBPR 2022-00340, previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022, fine set at $150 plus $100 cost assessment. Officer Barber.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case was previously adjudicated. This was for a brown metal panel fence installed without permits. Notice was mailed, certified, and posted. And as of the final recheck date of July 8th, there was no compliance, no applications made, and no applications made as of this morning either.
All right, so I'll do the same on this case. I will run the fines at $150 through from July 8th, 2022 through present, and increase the fine to $250 going forward based on the testimony of the city's code compliance officer and the photographs presented. I find that the property has been out of compliance since July 8th. Ratify the fines as stated before, and the fine shall continue until there is compliance.
Thank you.
Item number 27, Marie Y. Boniface Joseph, case number CEBPR 2021-00189, previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8th, fine set at $150 plus $100 cost assessment. Officer Barber.
Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case was previously adjudicated. There were several items noted within this violation. The roof, soffit repair, windows installed. Permits have since been obtained for those items. However, there have been no permits obtained for the large wood structure at the rear of the property, some sort of shed or something that they constructed. And notice was posted and mailed certified, and no compliance as of the final recheck date of July 8th.
Okay, I will repeat the same result. The fine set before at $150 will apply to the time from July 8th, the abatement date, through the present. The fines will increase to $250 per day as of today's date, plus $100 in cost assessments, all based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photograph, and the evidence presented. Therefore, I ratify the fines as stated before, and they shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance.
Thank you.
Item number 28, Velasquez Valle, case number Manuel Velasquez Valle, sorry about that. Case number CEBPR 2022-00297, previously found guilty with an abatement date of July 8, 2022, fine set at $250 plus $100 cost assessment. Officer Barber.
Good afternoon, Aaron Barber, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case was previously adjudicated. The metal panel fence and the patio-style roof that was installed at the rear of the property, as of the final recheck date of July 8th, there were no applications made, no permits have been obtained. Notice was posted and mailed certified for this property as well.
Okay, based on the testimony of the city's code compliance officer, which testimony is unrebutted, the photographs and the evidence presented that the property has been out of compliance since the abatement date of July 8th, I find in favor of the city and hereby ratify the fines accrued to date in the amount of $250 plus costs. The said fines shall continue to run on a daily basis until there is compliance.
Thank you.
Item number 36, Scott E. Larson Sr., case number CEBPR 2022-00394, Officer Perez.
Officer Perez of the City of North Miami. Today we're hearing the case in regards to the property at 2080 South Hibiscus Drive. This will be the first time we're hearing this case. This violation is regarding a boat lift that was installed without obtaining a permit. At this point in time, the city did re-inspect and no permits have been obtained or applied for. The property was sent via certified mail on the original violation on March 14th. It was also posted. Additionally, for the hearing, it was posted at the property on June 23rd, 2022, and it was sent via certified mail on June 24th, 2022. Here we see some photographs depicting the property prior to the boat lift being installed. A little hard to tell with these aerial shots, but as you can tell, the vessel is actually sitting in the water. There is no boat lift, and thereafter, boat lift was installed. It's a very nice boat lift. However, no permits have been obtained. At this point in time, the city is seeking adjudication as well as a daily fine.
Is that a single family home?
That is a single family home. Yes, very nice one.
Very beautiful house. Biscayne Point? Yes. I'm sorry,
yes.
Keystone
Keystone.
Point?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the city's code compliance officer, the photographs and the evidence presented depicting that the cited violation still exists and that proper notice has been given, I find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication and set a compliance date of 30 days. In the event of non-compliance, there shall be a daily fine of $500 until the violation is abated.
Thank you, sir.
And Magistrate, that concludes all for today.
That concludes our agenda, Magistrate, for today.
Very well. If there's nothing else pending, then consider this meeting adjourned. See you next time. Have a great rest of the day.
Recording stopped.
Thank you. Have a good one.